Alrighty then. So, last session, Dimra, Pellas defeated Ouroboros, very much a conqueror, has appeared, slain the king of the giants, has laid low the most powerful of their race, and banished the god of the giants to Tartarus, and has claimed the throne of Pellas, the broken throne of Pellas, for himself. Upon entering into his new domain as king, perhaps there was some realization that conquest does not necessarily breed love. And there are some rough patches to fill, which include a small rebellion very quickly forming with the Frost and Fire and Hill Giants, to which that was snubbed rather quickly as Ouroboros enlisted the help of his mother Dimra. Though he did not agree with Dimra and she not with him, she agreed to keep things cordial before his lessers, and asked to be granted the power of the Stormcaller so that she might be able to lead as her second from a position of power. And lastly, she required the blood of Pellas so that she may breed the race of storm giants. The giants never need to be oppressed again. All terms were agreed upon. Gyasi has sent a notice with Hermes to go get some blood from Pellas as proof, of course, of Pellas' descent down into Tartarus. Ouroboros granted at the last moment Dimra the power of the Stormcaller, and had her serve as his champion in a match against the Ice Shaper, the leader of the Ice Giants, and Dimra just slaughtered with magnificent power, the strongest of all of the Frost Giants. With that, Dimra has agreed to second Ouroboros' rule while he's out, claiming the lands of Greece in the name of the Olympians, and hopefully maintaining things while he's away. But with this great defeat, the Giants have bent the knee, and Ouroboros, you stand before many. You stand before certainly Frost have bent the knee in reverence to your champion's greater martial prowess. That is what they respect. You see the Frost Giants and all the Frost who stand upon their moat bend the knee. The Fire Giants, who are very used to subjugation, not only to subjugating, but understanding the cause of things and being subjugated, bend the knee in fear for your power. The Hill Giants, because they are the lesser of all the races, bend the knee. You see the Sky Giants, of course, bend the knee. And last but not least, the Stone Giants, who wanted nothing to do with conflict in the first place, bend the knee. At least for the time being, giant kind has been brought to heel under the rule of the conqueror Ouroboros, king of the giants. With that, the party has also been summoned back, hopefully by Athena, as she says that, with every day that passes, a week passes in the real world, and there's much to be done, and there are things that you must discuss. So as we stand here, all of you before the army of giants who have bent themselves low under the rule of Ouroboros and his second Dimra, what would the party have to do?
I think I would, after an appropriate amount of time has passed, I'll call out to everyone, all the giants, and I'll say, now rise and enjoy the feasting at my expense. And then I'll just walk back inside and
you walk back inside. They return to the feast and such. And you guys all return and you may feast. Dimra is fairly quiet, but certainly seems much happier than she was before now that she has been installed by you the power of the Storm Giant Rune. ensuring that with her the storm giant line may survive, and now she requires a mate. The last part of your deal with her. She would say insist upon you that you carouse, speak, and pick a new ice shaper for the Frost Giants. Perhaps someone who respects the way of conquest, as that is the Frost Giant way.
Hmm.
And you will have support from the Frost Giants and the Ice Shaper is of such a mind. So pick wisely.
Very well. Do we have candidates, or is this something that can wait for tomorrow?
I would be more than happy to. I'll say that you're sitting at the table with the other leaders of the giant kind. I think the fake gambler, these five giant would say, "My liege, I would be more than happy to arrange for a contest of strength amongst the frost giants, and perhaps reveal the most worthy of their kind. For they will only respect the strongest warriors, the most acclaimed warriors of their kind. So the Frost Giants must be able to respect them, and then out of those candidates, you of course may select the new Ice Shaper, I think."
Excellent.
Jimro will turn to you, Ouroboros, and say, "I think this is a good move, but may I recommend, if you do intend to go do your work with the Olympians, perhaps that might come first. You can always, of course, entrust unto me the selection of a Frost Giant that supports your conquest, and there are many."
Indeed.
I think the fake gambler would sort of interject and say, "May I even infer upon you, great king, that perhaps the current leaders of the superior giants in the Ordinary, cumulatively, in your absence, if it means be, of course, absent, pick amongst ourselves in council the new Frost Giant leader. The Forge Caller, myself, the Destiny Gambler, and the Storm Caller could find a Frost Giant most suitable. There's three of us, so there's a tiebreaker amongst us, and it would suit the Ordning to do so in your absence, and when you return, you may decide if our choice was worthy or not."
Indeed. What if the Frost Giants were to elect their most suitable candidates, and then out of those candidates, then they can have a trial of strength, and then out of the victors, then between the council and my mother, then we can pick who is fit to lead.
Destiny Gambler says, "You are king, of course." And Dimra would say, "That is suitable. The Frost Giants will only respect the strongest of warriors, so they may put forth their strongest, and you may select from them those who survive combat, who may your this, I suppose, greater council for you, if that is what you please."
I have an idea, and this selection has given me this idea. In the future, I would find it interesting if any leaders of a given race of giants were to fall. Then what if said candidate had to go through trials from all of the race of giants?
They all look at each other. The Destiny Gambler says, "You wish to have trials placed from the greater giants. This is a most cunning tactic, Nick.
My reasoning being that if this individual is going to be leading, they will not only be the leader of their kind, but they will also have to coordinate and cooperate with other members of other races.
You stand to reason, given the ordering that we place worthy trials before them. Dimra will say to you, Ouroboros, perhaps the most important thing, if I may, my son, is to ensure that these leaders underneath you support you before all else. You are a fresh regent. Perhaps in time this may be installed and look well upon you, but for now perhaps it is most important that you select someone who thoroughly supports you, even zealously. I need to make a wisdom saving throw.
This has been a constant thing here. That'll be a 7 wisdom save.
Okay. Ouroboros, and all of you are nearby. You hear Ouroboros say, "No, that makes sense. Yes, perhaps that will do. If you'd excuse me for a moment, I must attend to some other matters." And he will rise from the table and leave. Each of you, 1, 2, 3, 4, will receive ascending, and you will recognize a familiar voice, and I will describe to you what that voice is momentarily, but I will simply say, you know what, maybe the messenger god puts it forth to you. You hear sort of ascending from Hermes to each of you that says, Father Ouroboros, it seems that the Olympians have grown tired waiting for us. Do you follow Ouroboros?
Yeah, I don't need to be here.
Yep.
I just didn't hear the last part. Waiting for what?
It says the Olympians have grown tired waiting for you, it seems.
Okay. Yeah,
Weeks are passing for every day here. Is the problem?
Yeah. Yeah, I will unfortunately follow Gyasi. I'll look to Ouroboros.
Did you say unfortunately follow Gyasi?
Yeah, you gotta figure it out.
Am I like still cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
Not in this very moment.
Okay.
You were a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs the past couple of days, and people let you just kind of run around the palace.
Okay, great.
But you're good. You're good in this moment. You kind of come to your senses.
You just needed food. That's all.
Yeah, you just needed some food.
But no, I have there's been no spells cast on me, just as a general note.
Yes. Yeah. No. You're
I will follow Silenos.
Valiant.
Single file.
No, like she's not.
Katara?
To be specific, she's not following Gyasi. She is following Silenos, like as purposely. Like wherever he goes, she's going.
Oh, got it.
Everybody hold hands to walk out of the dinner hall.
Dahlia, do you go with the rest of the party?
Dahlia goes. She's maybe a little annoyed because she was staying for a feasting, like in the feast. She's gonna let that.
Okay. Sure, you go with. You guys find yourself back in the throne room where the various the various giants are not. The throne room is guarded by probably fire giants, but as you all enter, you will see standing before your throne, Ouroboros, is none other than the Queen of the Gods herself, Hera, seems to have come. She looks at the massive, shattered throne and turns around to see all of you. and she definitely looks past all of you, and at this point, Ouroboros, the suggestion has ended, or the charm that was upon you has ended. You sort of felt deeply compelled to go to the throne room and go there privately. But in this moment, you kind of come out of it and realize that you had been charmed. And you see probably the person who charmed you. And she says, "Well, it's been some time, Demithots, hasn't it?"
Hera?
"Yes, have you forgotten?"
No. No, we haven't.
"Truly. It seems to me that you've been rather busy with other entertainments. Perhaps you have forgotten your allegiances since then."
No, I assume that you are upset because we have been here a while in your eyes. For us, it has only been a few days since we conquered the giants.
"I believe Hermes has made you aware that the Spartan army has been decimated during your campaign, yes?
Yes.
That the dwarves of Cor Volcus belonging to my son Hephaestus have also been decimated, no?
Yes.
That at this very moment the Titan Atlas makes his way here to destroy everything that you claim to have built, no?
Yes.
So I wonder, why are you playing king, boy?
I am not playing Hera.
It's funny. I see so many rulers much like you. You remind me so much, of course, of my husband. Do not take that with pride. You see, there are so many people who like to argue over who owns the house while it's burning down. Perhaps we should put out the flames before we decide who sits on the throne, or perhaps reassemble it, or find the time to reassemble it. You do realize you sit on a literal broken throne, do you not?
Yes, Hera. I do.
And what of all of you? Do you all agree with these proceedings that have been transpiring over the last couple weeks since your victory? Can't hear you, Valerie. Better, yeah.
I'll tell Hera it hasn't been just a couple weeks. Like, it hasn't been a couple weeks. It's been just less than a day, and the giants were a major threat. So yeah, I think it was strategically responsible to take them out. So we're ready now to get back to it. We have a lead on how to get Olympus back.
Yes. Yes, I'm sure you do. So, how much longer do you intend to stay?
Well, I was trying to make sure that this broken throne, as you call it, even though it is set upon by Atlas, I want to make sure that even while I am not here, there is someone who can lead them. So as not to just let them fall back to a new leader.
And what of the rest of you? Well, Ouroboros pretends to be his father. What of all of you? Been remarkably helpful this last day, have you not?
Maybe just one.
You're cutting out again for Amelia's.
Yeah, you're cutting out pretty bad.
Sorry.
There we
I's just like defending what they've done because it's pretty incredible, and Hera's coming in here like shitting on their accomplishments. And
Yeah.
so she is like, no, we haven't just been like lounging around. Like we just took out a giant army and sent Pellas back to Tartarus. And so those pretty big wins, and we're returning immediately to the rest of the war. We barely escaped with our lives. I think it's worth some consideration.
Make me a persuasion check, Valerie.
I got a 13.
What did you say?
Can I use magical guidance to reroll?
Of course you can. Why not?
Just the Senate, like, can I reroll?
Well, okay, we'll try that again. Oh my god, I rolled another 13. It's meant to be 13, I guess.
A 13. She says, "Oh, I'm sure many of my children would agree with you, young demigod. But perhaps your resources might be utilized a little better. I feel a certain dragging of feet. Maybe you might pat yourself on the back once you've returned to the gods. And we might start planning our next advances. Time is not on our side, in case you haven't noticed."
Hera, if I may. You see, if I recall correctly, it was us, the Demithots, that were chosen to lead the gods through this war. It is us, it is we, that have been running around Greece trying to save this world that you, my father, and all the other Olympians once ruled over. But the Titans have all but ended that. Now, if you would be so kind with your experience and your grace, I would appreciate it if you'd let us do our job.
Make a persuasion check, or an intimidation check, your choice.
Intimidation. This is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Have I used luck today?
I don't know. That's for you to keep track of. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Okay, I'll use it. Cause,
Okay.
golly, I rolled a fucking 2.
Oh no.
Gee willikers, Batman.
Okay, a 17 intimidation.
17. She sort of tilts her head at you. She says, "Of course. Why do you think I'm here? I'm not the god of scolding, though perhaps it is what you need. I'm the god of majesty, much second to my husband. You want this conquest to function, and function quickly? Perhaps you have forgotten the power of the gods. So, you do not believe you can leave as of yet. This is the state of things."
No, I was planning on leaving tomorrow But with the urgency that Her Highness has showed upon us, then perhaps we can leave tonight. I just need to have a word with my second.
Very well. Have your word, and then perhaps we may depart for greater concerns.
Thank you for your understanding. And he'll turn around. He'll flick his golden cloak, which was hers at one point, and I'll walk out and go see my mom.
Do you cry into your mom's bosom?
Mommy, she was really mean to me.
Oh, Ouroboros, you want me to shoot lightning at her?
I have the
okay.
bolt. I could have done it. I could have done it.
I could have done it too. Yeah, I know, honey. I know. Okay. Okay. You head out and you go to find Dimra. Not hard to find. In fact, she's probably just outside the throne room. She says, "Is there a problem, son?"
No. Well. Anyway. I plan on departing tonight. Things have arisen in the world, and I must go to put out the fires before they reach here. Before I go, I just wanted to have a word with you about some things that cannot be broken while I am away. And know that I am trying my best to meet your needs as well as the needs of all the giants and the people of Greece. That being said, the first one is that there will be no offensives against the people of Greece while I am away. If they are to attack giant kind, well, I expect you all to defend yourselves as you do so well. Honestly, that might have been the only thing.
I will. She sort of looks at her hand, and the power of lightning crackles around her hand, and she says, "Through the power you've granted me, I've gained abilities I was not aware that I would. Through the power of the wind itself, I can pass message forth, and I intend to stop and pulse at your will the advance of the fiery hill giant lines across Thrace, the Asian minor, and up and return back, that we might reinforce and defend ourselves with. They are the last reserves of our armies."
I understand. Keep in mind... Oh, I was just going to say... the reason... Well, I'm sure you know the reason that I called out the frost giant leader and the fire giant leader. I have it on good authority that they were planning a rebellion. With you as my second, I expect those ideas of rebellion to be squashed, if they haven't already been. Yeah, please continue. I did not mean.
Your display of strength through me, I am sure, has stalled and broken the will of many who would wish to oppose you. I intend to douse the flames of rebellion amongst giant kind. And we will select a new Ice Shaper who is more respectful of the warrior way. You conquer giant kind, and it should be the frost giants alone who support you most adamantly. And so we shall find one amongst them who supports such battle. For the ice giants are raiders, and you have done the greatest raid of all. It shall not be hard to find one who supports you. The hill giants would be easy to tame. Storm giants seem to already have great interest in supporting you. And the cloud giants, well, this is why I wish for about a loss. They would be the only threat I could see. They are tricky, but I am powerful. And I want you to know two things before you go, Horus.
Please.
Were our roles reversed in that throne room? I do not know if I could have taken your life out. I know we do not agree on the fate of giant kind. But one thing you must know is that all I've done has not only been for giant kind, but for you, my son. You asked me if I'm alive. Yes. It's for you. And the second I wish for you to know is that I have no designs upon the thing. I am, and have been for a very long time, what I consider myself, and your mortals to consider to be a sort of thinker. I want to understand the fate of giant kind and push it forth and ensure that it has a place in this world that never did before. I want you to understand those two things about me, as I know there must be animosity between us.
Well, when you tell Pellas that this boy is dead to me, there is no hope for him. It kind of gives a different meaning.
Son, you have a lot to learn about politics. Sometimes a lie can be as powerful as a blade. I don't expect you to trust me all at once. I don't even expect you to trust me in what I've said just now. But know that I intend to move forward.
Also, and let me just start off by saying I agree with what you are saying. I feel that above all things, what the giants need right now is unity with each other.
No, son. No. What they need right now is to understand who they kneel to. She puts a hand on your shoulder. She says, while you're gone, I will ensure your strength is known to the giants, and they will know who their new king is. That must be the most primary concern. Cement your regency, and then design upon giant kind what you will, but for now you must have the power and respect to shape it. You must build your strength before you can shape the rock. Do you understand?
I do.
So go. Go with him. And I will be here. And so will the giants.
I'm confident of that. I still have a few questions lingering. One, Last I saw you, you were pregnant. Where's the child?
He is safe. He is safe. Not with Titan, not with Olympian, not with me. He is being raised by cooler heads. Perhaps you might meet him when this is over.
Does he have a name?
No. No, I didn't think it would be fit for me to name the boy. Considering I left him in the care of others. I don't think I deserve that.
I hope that the people you left him with are much better than however you raised Apollyon.
I did not raise it for those.
I figured.
I have had the misfortune to not raise any of my mortal-born sons. Nor know them well. Perhaps that may change in the days to come.
I hope so. And secondly, why couldn't you draw that rune on yourself?
Because it was not my fault. I could use it, I could lash out with it, but I could not draw its power into myself. Only you had that power, you and your father, though I doubt your father would ever do such a thing, considering I wanted it for the sake of opposing him.
What would happen if I drew that rune on myself?
I don't know. I don't know, son. You are not giant, not as I am. You are half giant. It could be very dangerous. It could be very empowering. I do not know. I have only studied my own biology, my own reaction to the bolt's power. I've had time to study it and its capacity to affect me. I do not know what it would do to someone of your mixed heritage.
Well, I think that is all for now. And please know that oh, well, God's willing, will return here. And if things are anything less than beneficial,
I know. I know.
please do not mistake my mercy for weakness.
I've seen your strength, Warboss. It requires no more proving to me.
Okay. leave the giants in able hands.
I will update you when I can with their status.
And he'll kind of look down at the floor and to the side and back at her. And he'll go in for a hug.
She'll accept the hug. She'll hug
And
you.
while we're there, I'll whisper in her ear. I missed you, Mom.
You feel, as you're physically there, you feel a tension sort of loose from her body. And she will whisper back, I missed you, son. And she'll kind of bring her hand up to the back of your head and I'll hold you in that hug with that sort of affectionate hand on the head. And she's a little bit of a cold, guarded individual, maybe a very cold and guarded individual, in fact. But you feel that desire for connection in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Even if she can't connect, she wants to.
She's a very old and immortal being.
Yeah. And with that, I'll kind of step away with my hands on her shoulders. I'll look at her with a caring, loving smile. And I'll turn away and I'll walk back into the room with Hera.
You hear within your mind as you leave says, I am here now, son. Even when we are apart. Sort of on the wind. Much like as you have felt your father's presence, his words in your ear from the wind, she has gained much of his power with your branding. And, yeah. We return back to the room, where I would ask, does any of you four want to say anything to Hera while you wait, or do you just simply wait for Olympus' return?
Awkward silence.
Yeah, just... So, was the battle good? No. She doesn't say that. She doesn't say that. But yeah, if anyone wanted to chat or have words with each other, feel free. If not, that's okay too.
I mean, I would assume that Katara is mumbling to her friend, quietly, but
I think she'll very bluntly, Hera will say, I do not recall casting a curse upon you.
Respectfully, Hera, I was actually meaning to ask you about that. You may know who can help or be able to help.
But what is
Katara.
wrong with her?
She tapped into some forces even her mother told her not to, and they have a lasting effect on her mind. Something needs to be purged so that she can just seemingly forget the curse.
All the more reason to take back Olympus. I'm sure Asclepius has means of fixing her addled mind.
pivot.
So you can't fix her now? Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, I am the god of women. No, she says, I am quite
I'm just joking,
proficient at casting a curse upon. No, I think she takes that she thinks that's funny. She goes, I am quite skilled at laying damning curses upon people, not so much getting rid of them.
Hmm.
It's been a while, but
I see. Well, thank you. We'll seek them out once we're able to take back home.
there you go. And with that, Ouroboros will return. Hera will say, "Ah, excellent. So, shall we away?"
Please.
Glorious. And she summons the northern winds. You are all thrust and pulled through the power of the gods, away, away, away from the wars of the giants, back to Iaia. It is a very strange sensation this time. You guys are, many of you might know the wind walk spell, where you basically become wind and travel very fast. This is like a super crazy version of that. Is essentially how it works. You move across the land in magnificent speed as you become one with wind, and you feel a strange, almost dilation of physical form very quickly as you begin to move across Greece towards Iaia, and find yourself sort of re-entering the equilibrium of time itself. As things slow down dramatically for all of you, and you have like a weird moment where you're like, everything is like really fast and then really slow, and then your senses are able to properly perceive the flow of time once more as you arrive back on the island of Iaia before the gods. Athena is present pretty much solitarily. Artemis is there, I would say, who looks quite happy to see your return, all of you, Salanos, especially you, Salanos. And Athena will sort of very coldly look at Hera and say, "I suppose we picked the right goddess for the job. Welcome back," she'll say to all of you.
Hello.
I'll stand up to Artemis and give her a hug.
Yep, Artemis gives you a hug, and she says, "I'm sorry your plans didn't go well. Did you hear about what happened with the Spartans?"
Yes, we've heard of tragedies going on here. We just
Yes.
had to secure this for Ouroboros and his kind.
Well, I think having giants to fight with us is a great thing. I think that'll be very helpful, but it's just unfortunate that I wasn't able to be as successful. And I think Athena will sort of cut into that conversation and say, which is why we must move quick to ensure the same thing does not happen to giant to secure what has been here.
Athena, I have to say I'm thankful and honestly a bit surprised that you feel that way about the giants.
The giants are an asset. I was good friends with one long ago. Not that that matters entirely.
Hmm.
We need all the help we can get. So, if the giants are to be our allies, so be it. And we should move quickly before they decide not to be our allies. Or before Atlas either destroys them or makes them his. I do not discriminate, but try to be reasonable.
Mm.
How long do you think we have their allegiance for?
The numbers are decimated. I would say they're only up to about 25 to 50% of the strength that they once were.
Hmm.
And right now, my mother is serving as my second to lead them. It's hard to say. But for the time being, I think we have a tentative alliance, we'll say.
I see. Well, Pellas is defeated. That much is known. That much is well. I needed to do all the stuff over there, but delete. Delete. Very well. The Tempest Caller. She is now, if I'm led to believe, leading over Giantkind. And it is unfortunate that the Giants have lost most of their forces. But those could be recouped. And you guys could go ahead and, like, if you would wish to explain the situation as it is. And she would tell you that Dionysus and Ares have retracted back to Iaia, that Artemis already has as well returned. The Cloud Giants are being returned, the Frost Giant, the Fire Giants are being returned. Athena says, so I suppose it'd be best if we recall Pan then, yes?
Indeed. All the giant forces are being rerouted back to the capital, I suppose you could say.
Then they have served their purpose well.
Indeed.
Says, okay. Says, so, I must thoroughly recommend that we begin to focus once more upon the actual confrontation between the gods themselves. You have all procured great assets for the mortal lands, which is fine. But I would like to infer a reminder that this war is not going to be won between mortals, it is going to be won between immortals. And so far, Kronos has been devastating us. He has stolen weeks away from all of you. I think it would be best if we finally claimed Olympus. You claim to have a plan for that. Keristos, yes?
That's right.
We do.
As a small reminder, Athena, you are Thalia. You were shot by an arrow, I believe, when it comes to Athena. Yes.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot all about that.
Just if that provides a little fun.
Yeah. She just says yes. That's right. But
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah.
She says,
We're also told, like, are we talking about, because we haven't told the gods about the details of the plan, right? Have we?
Nah.
Okay.
you've told them that there was a way in Keristos to get into Olympus, but that's all they know.
Okay.
That's all they need to know. Ouroboros will present the bolt and say, if we can get inside and into the vault where they are keeping my father, I can bestow his power, and we will have a fighting chance.
Good. That's very good. So what is this plan to get into Olympus? How do we assist? This should be our topmost priority.
I believe
That's-
all that you all need be aware is that it is a secret passage to Olympus, but if we can get the transportation to said island, I believe that will be all that is required.
Hera would say, "There are things you would not tell us, obscure from us. Why is this?"
Because it is not relevant to the plan at large.
Make a persuasion or intimidation check.
We'll do persuasion this time. 25.
25. Hera, who is not easily persuaded, begins to object, and Athena says, "With all due respect, Queen Hera, if it's not for us to know, then it's not for us to know." And even Artemis looks a little like, what? At Athena, as this is surprising behavior from her. Even Hera, like everyone in the room is like, what? Like from Athena, as this is very, very not her style. And it says, "You will." So, well then, very well. Just tell us what you need from the gods.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, Athena. If
Her
you-
eyes sort of
Thalia.
wander to Thalia.
Thalia. He's like giving you he's like giving you the come on, like
I mean, she is the goddess of wisdom and could tell us how best to handle this. And I was actually curious if you knew anything of these druids that we're going to go meet in Kitharos.
fucking 25 persuasion for shit.
I love it. I fucking love it. All the eyes turn to you at this point. Athena remains as ever stone cold, but Artemis and Hera are like shocked to hear these words. And Hera says, "Druids. You will be meeting with druids." And Artemis says, They still exist? We thought they were extinct." And Hera says, "Apparently not. I can tell you of the druids, if you wish. How much do you all know about what you might be walking into?"
I know that they don't like you a whole lot, and that's sufficient to the task. You want to know what you can do? I'll tell you what you can do. Make Cronus's eye go somewhere else than under his feet. Because that's where we'll be. To set the rest of you free. I am tired of your attitude. So you can like it or don't. But the don't option sees all of us dead. We have to go where you cannot tread. You want to know what you can do? Distract
Hera is like no, no. Hera is like, she's like, you know when somebody says something like so offensive to you that you just like you don't even know how to defend yourself in that moment. You just can't even react at all. There's like no, that's how Hera looks. She's like,
she's loading up the curse gun like as you're talking. Oh yeah. Oh word.
Oh yeah, bitch. Oh yeah.
Keep fucking talking.
Artemis fully is like goes on damage control. She's like, Queen Hera, and
I grab Artemis as she goes to be.
She.
Well, just stay here.
Salanos, no, I think. Oh gods. I mean, I don't say that, I'm a god. But, and Athena looks to Hera and just kind of like gives her a look, and Hera's like, and as Athena just sort of stares her down, like the marble like cracks under her like intense grip in her rage, and she like stands up and turns on her heel and walks out of the room. And I think Athena cracks a little once in a decade smile at Gyasi, and she says, "Of course, we have a long and unfortunate past with the druids. I understand, especially now, why we must not go, and we must. It makes good sense, but I would wonder if you intend to advance on Olympus and free Zeus, perhaps you might need us when the time comes to strike upon the mountain. I can set plans. I can be reactive. But I agree. The Time Lord's eye should be directed far from the mountaintop. And even if we are captured, you can release us when you get there. It is risky. But you have done risky.
Athena, what
Yes.
are the troops, the foot soldiers, I suppose, situation of the Titans at this current moment? With the giants recalled, who do they have as their infantry?
They have fanatics. You have
You dealt with
seen to
those.
their infantry. Their infantry were giants. Their mortal infantry is decimated. It has been taken from them because of all fear. All that lies left is the Titans themselves. You've defeated their lieutenants, you've defeated their lieutenants' troops. All that's left is the Titans themselves. Which is why I think now is the time to strike. Align Kronos from his position upon Olympus, and sure, he can still influence time, but we will be able to return to us the element of surprise and the omniscience of the mountain and the power of Zeus himself. We can worry about freeing Poseidon later. Perhaps now might even be a good time. We require distraction. Perhaps we might free Poseidon and have him release the Kraken. Perhaps it's time to create a big splash. She sort of goes, oh, but she made up fun by accident.
That was a good one.
Please, no.
I was gonna say Athena would be someone who would like get mad when they do that on accident.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. She's mad at herself for punning. I made a joke. Fuck.
Thalia tells her I love the idea, Athena. Great idea.
And if you're looking for a sign for when we have started our action, I can't foresee this not being the situation where we call for that one service. And I'll look at Katara.
What? She's like going back and forth between her friend and you now, I guess. Yes.
She's never present at all.
I think Athena looks quizzically at Katara and says, favor?
We negotiated with draconic kind.
Oh, yes. Yes, that.
Katara served as our emissary, and she holds the boon of a single interdiction.
Hmm. Perhaps you're right. Mount Olympus is too valuable to leave a chance. Maybe now is the time to send them a message and prepare them to strike. It will take time even for dragons to cross Greece. If you intend to go soon, that is, of course.
I don't see any advantage to delay, particularly if Atlas is in motion to Persia. That pulls him out of position.
Where is Atlas at this time?
As far as we know, he is somewhere between indeed Keristos and the central mountains of the peninsula. Peninsula's the wrong word. The central mountains of the Aegean, or islands of the Aegean. He is crossing as we speak.
What is the likelihood that he would be able to come to Iaia?
If he knew its location, it would not be hard at all.
But Iaia was created after they were banished, correct?
That is quite right. It was made to contain Cersei. And even if they knew of the existence of the landmass, they would not know its relevance to Cersei. Unless, of course, Cersei told them, which is very possible, but Cersei did not know that we would use her island. So, there's no reason to assume that they know we are here. Unless, of course, Kronos has used his time to scan every individual mile of Greece. Which would take quite a long time.
But time is not an issue for Kronos, is it?
It is not. We make no assumptions about what his knowledge basis is.
Well, I like the idea, Gyasi. But I would think that maybe we just want to hold on to that until the final bell. And I'm having a feeling that us getting into Olympus is going to require Kronos to be away via the distraction that the gods will conjure up when they go save Poseidon.
It would need to be something magnificent. It would need to be a distraction that Kronos would need to handle personally. Probably somewhere very far from where Atlas is, and somewhere of immense relevance to his plans.
We could give him something that he desperately needs, or
Am I
he
right
could.
there?
Well, he needs victory. So if you place her on the board and recall her in last minute,
That
might
is
be enough
excellent
to draw
advice.
him out.
Perhaps it is time that the gods had a siege with victory at their side. Perhaps Pella? I don't expect we would succeed, which is fine. It would certainly be a lengthy siege.
What would make it lengthy?
Time. Slow us down. But we can be quite fast with the messenger god. I think it would require precise use of his skills to stop us. He might wish to handle it personally, rather than from atop his mountain. He can use his power broadly from the top of his mountain, from what we've seen. He can slow vast areas down or speed them up. But as for precise control over different measures, that requires a much more, I think, closer touch. So perhaps some might find our way to Pella and attempt a siege that requires the Time Lord to move away. It is an island, it is a port city to which the Kraken could cause quite a scene. Yes, perhaps that is what we must do.
So
Yeah,
the idea... Sorry, go ahead.
I think that's another really good idea.
Oh my god. Everything that comes out of her mouth. That's a fucking great job. Wow. Wow.
I know. Oh my god, it's like you're the god of tactics or something.
That's so hot. I mean, so cool.
I want who? I'll tell you what. Actually, something funny to go along with this, with like Dahlia's flirting. Might be a fun little insight into something here. Who has a passive insight of 20 plus?
Iaia does.
Anybody 20 plus besides Thalia?
Fuck no.
No.
Thalia, I'm gonna send you a private message of something that you pick up on.
She has a centimeter of blush on her right cheek.
a micromillimeter of blush. It's microscopic, in fact. Okay, that's all. Moving right along. I think Artemis, or excuse me, I think Athena definitely like acknowledges the compliments from Thalia, but quickly return sort of like that, just like a quick nod of like thanks from Thalia, and then kind of returns to business. Very business lady. Yeah. She says, well, you all have a lot on your plates, so I can handle the preparations of this siege to distract Kronos personally. You all perhaps have a lot to consider. By all means, take some time if you need. Now that time has slowed down a bit, I'm sure you can afford yourself a night.
Indeed. Quick question. So is the plan in preparation of the siege to go to Oceanus, hopefully send him back to Tartarus, free Poseidon, so that he can then awaken the Kraken, and then the gods will siege Pella?
I'm trying to decide if going after Poseidon is the best thing. Oceanus is a magnificent foe. He's not one that will be felled easily, and it might not be worth risking gods against. Especially underwater in his domain. It might require a much more labored assault. And I don't think an assault on Oceanus should draw the eye of Kronos. He seems to have the idea that if a Titan cannot defend themselves, then they're not worthy of him. So he has no interest in coming to their defense.
With that being said, has there been any sightings or word of where Poseidon's trident lay?
No, there's not. But if that is the case, I expect that perhaps it remains still in the seas somewhere. Or beyond it. It's difficult to say. With access to the Fates once more, we might have a better idea where his trident might lie. But it is remarkably hard to have it removed from Poseidon, much as it is very hard to have the Master Bolt removed from Zeus himself.
We may possibly be able to make the water, the Mascarans, our recon party.
Possibly. But I must insist that you turn your gaze to Olympus and the Titans. Mortal concerns, as perhaps you're beginning to understand, are best left to the mortals. We dabble and help here and there, but it is the realm of the gods that must be tended to by the realm of the gods. And that is all of you now, who are transitioning. You must cast your eyes away from the simple concerns of Amazons and Spartans and towards Olympians and Titans. This must be where your eyes are from.
I understand you fully. The only reason I suggested the water Themyscirans was simply so they can try to find the trident. Because if at some point we want to let Poseidon free, just as my father's bolt, he's going to need his trident, I imagine.
She looks at the bolt that you have in your possession, and she sort of smiles kindly at you, as if to sort of soften the blow.
I understand it is not his full power.
And she returns back to her future state. Indeed, what you possess is a fragment. It is a good concern. We will see if we can't persuade the Sicilian Amazons to move towards Atlantis. At least perhaps rally the Sea Elves and the Triton that serve him. For when the time comes that Atlantis is free once more.
Very well.
By the way, it is worth noting, Poseidon has finished, or Hephaestus has finished the enchantments upon your ship. Skyfields is now capable of undersea travel. Moreover, he is near completion upon the world pillar to release Hercules for a time, which will be quite relevant to our distraction upon the mountain.
Who is that by Hercules?
That is Hephaestus.
Ah, I see. Is Hercules capable of speech while he is holding the world pillar?
Yes, correct.
How is he these days?
She sort of sighs at you. She goes, well, he's just taking in the good sights, I think.
Very well. I believe
we have many gods here prepared to do what is necessary in Pella. Poseidon will have to wait. Perhaps his brother will claim him once he is freed by our hands. Perhaps by yours, if you wish it. But for now, we will focus the gods' attention and indeed risk Nike herself. In fact, it might even be to our benefit if she is captured and brought to the mountain for imprisonment. She'll be there waiting to empower all of you.
Indeed. Very well.
How devious. We sacrifice the gods to be imprisoned upon the mountain, and you slip in the back door and free us all, and attack him from within. A tremendous risk, but one that would not falter. If you, of course, all can get to us.
Indeed. Well, I think that's enough preparation, as you could possibly imagine. The strategical and political approaches are weighing on my mind as of late.
Very well. And with that, you will kind of fall away from the sort of battle map that turns to Iaia. Many of the gods are gathered in Iaia. They don't have objectives as of late, thanks to the routing of the giants. And Athena says, I will go inform Nike of her job to be done. Excuse me. and will sort of retreat to go find Nike and inform her that she is to be bait.
I
mean, really good bait though. really, really good bait.
It's the it's the only thing that's actually going to bring him out because he needs it.
I need it.
Well, to be fair, he has kind of been winning without victory on his side. So, I mean,
but we're still pests. Like he's still he's like, okay, I can 100% win. Like there's no question. That's his guarantee. That's what he wants.
To be perfectly honest with you,
Thought at least
he's lost as much as he's won. Yes, he's had some success with some of his mortal forces. He's lost 2 titans. And the bulk of his shock troops. That's a loss. He doesn't want Nike for the sake of claiming a victory. He needs to recapture momentum because he doesn't have it.
Yep.
That's why his boy Atlas is running all over the place, jumping from one hot spot to the next, which is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, Atlas is probably pissed. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? Now I gotta go all the way across the sea again? God.
Because we knew we needed to play pinball with Atlas, and that's exactly what's happening.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, you guys have... That is too dark. You guys have as much or as little time as you want. Many of the gods have rallied here. Some gods are still off and busy doing their own thing, opposing Hyperion and tending to the underworld and whatnot. But many gods have rallied here, and you guys can have a minute if you need it, or you could just forward on ahead. So what would you like to do?
What time of day is it?
I would say it's about midday.
I have to say... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know if I have to talk to them or if we can speed through that, but I got 4 gods that I got to touch base with. Because they were all working on stuff.
That is perfectly fine. Why don't we hit that then? Katara, who would you like to talk to first?
Hephaestus is not here, right?
Hephaestus is not here.
Okay. I'll go to Aphrodite. Sure, why not?
Aphrodite? You find the goddess of love and beauty. She sees you, Katara, and she says, "Hello, Katara. You are looking most terrifying today."
Thank you. No, I do need to talk to her. Give me a second. No. Turn that.
Oh, no.
I was wondering how you fared with my request before we left. I know it's been some time, but wondering if you were able to gather the 2 items that I need.
Of course. And she will produce, I believe it was the ambrosia elixir, something like that. The ambrosian flowers or dew or something like that.
So extracts from rare ambrosia infused fruits and the essence of laughter from the nymphs and muses.
She said,
I assume I need to combine all these things, so I'm just going through the 2.
She produces both of them, and she said, I'd rather spend time with the nymphs if they're gathering their laughter.
Thank you. This will be most useful. I'm sure Thalia will love to hear about the muses.
Yes, I can't wait to speak with her. I'm glad that you're all back.
Are you? because it doesn't sound like it all the time.
Whatever do you mean?
Oh, well, you were quite well scolded, I suppose I should say, to come back.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm happy that you're all back. Hera can be a little... She can be a little bitchy, but we get it. She's a busy woman.
To be fair, most people aren't happy to see me anyways.
I'm happy to see you.
That's new.
I admit I haven't had my eye on you much, as I did not think that you wanted it. You did not wish to invite love into your life.
Well, no, that is true. I don't quite... Really, I don't understand it.
Well, I would be very happy to have a connection with you one day at a time, if you were to invite it.
Okay. She'll just turn away.
Aphrodite kind of, like she wants a little love for everybody, and she's not used to not being wanted. Oh, you're in trouble, Katara. You played hard to get with her. Now you might be in trouble. Who knows? Who else you got? Who else? Oh, Aphrodite will go. Oh, before you go, my ex-husband insisted that I give you this, and she will hand over for you whatever you asked of the Festus.
Yeah.
You would have taken care of that.
Yeah, most is bunch of stones, bunch of rocks.
Bunch of rocks. Yeah, bunch of rocks.
Awesome. And then Artemis and Demeter were the last two.
Fantastic. Who you want to go see first?
Go find Demeter. I have no idea where she is.
Demeter's about. Yeah, you find her just just around. She's kind of just like standing amongst the wood and almost just like feeling the essence of her domain. And, you may indeed speak to her. And she says, "Oh yes, hello, Katara. Good to see you again. What can I do for you?"
Well, I know it's been quite some time since we've returned, but I'm trying to see what progress I can make on my elixir. And I know before we left, I had asked if you could try to acquire some essence of the night blooming flowers, and I'm not sure if you've had a chance to.
Oh, it wasn't too hard. Yes, very well, right here, and she will provide you with those very rare flowers.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate this more than you know. Then she'll awkwardly walk away. She's really just like checking off boxes and like, okay, great. Because she doesn't have a lot of time. So she's trying to collect all these things as quickly as possible so that she can actually work on crafting things.
Fair enough.
She is going to go to Artemis next.
Okay. You find Artemis, who is just kind of hanging out towards the back of the palace outside, sort of like looking off one of the many mountains. She sees you and says, "Oh, I expect you're here for the blank."
Yeah.
Yep, here you go.
Yeah. Thank you.
There was something about the moon, right? That's what I do.
Yes.
Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head all of the very specific things I meant you try to find.
I would ask, I know it's not the most opportune time, but if you have a chance at some point in the future, there's one other, there's two items. They'll have to be kind of acquired together, but the remaining the remaining items will have to be connected in the underworld. The last two that I'll need here are associated with a phoenix. And I figured who best to turn to for trying to locate where a beast would be than the goddess of the hunt herself.
I'll have to ask my brother about that. He's quite all-seeing, and I believe the phoenix is something that's quite associated with him. When I see him next, I'll be sure to find out for you the next twilight. But I believe he says that they usually dwell near sort of volcano kind of places. But I'll check in with him at twilight.
Very well. I'm gonna go and try to create some of these ingredients so that they're ready for when I need them. And I'm gonna go back inside to, I guess, wherever my mom did some potion making shit. I'm heading there.
Absolutely. And she has remarkable facilities. Okay, you're gonna go do some potion making. We'll come back to you in a minute.
Yep.
I think Artemis wants to talk to you really quick, Silenos. Silenos.
Sorry? So sorry.
I believe that's all good. I believe Artemis and Demeter actually both approach you.
Yeah, Silenos will just be sharpening some arrowheads somewhere on a rock.
Fantastic. And you sort of look up and see the two goddesses standing before you. And Artemis says, "Hello, Sam."
Oh, hi. And he'll like walk down and regard them both. He'll give his mom a hug and a kiss to Demeter's hand. And what can I do for you guys?
It's not so much what you can do for us, but what we can do for you. Demeter will say, "You're going to see the druids, which had us thinking about something that was lost long ago that would probably be best served in your hands. You see, when the giant battles first raged, there was a champion. His name is of little relevance at this point, but he was an elf and a fantastic archer, and he worshipped both of us. So we had forged for him a magnificent longbow by Hephaestus's hand, and we infused it with not only our power, but some power from giant kind, those that Cyclopses that came over from the giant side and joined with the gods. It is a longbow of remarkable power. It's engraved with wheat stalks and deer antlers, and it has the power to heal as well as to damage. It was lost as he was slain by the druids when they revolted. And if you're going to go see them, we thought that we might tell you. It's the longbows, and they'll give you some celestial name for it, but in the end they'll say, it is also known as the longbow of the healing hearth. It was created by a number of us goddesses, Hestia, myself, Demeter. It has the power to heal as well as damage, and it is a bow of exceptional power. We thought that you might wish to keep your eye out for it when you are meeting with the druids. It would be better served in your hands.
Of course. Thank you very much. I've been looking for a way to look out for everyone at the same time. I'll be sure to keep an eye out for it.
Your bow is magnificent, but this bow is perhaps the height of what the gods have created for the mortals. So keep a close eye.
I will. Thank you for trusting me with the legacy. Both of your legacies.
Artemis smiles very kindly, and Demeter, she smiles at you too. She's a little bit of a prickly lady, but she also has that sort of grandmotherly side to her as well, and she smiles as well. And you see, perhaps also endearing, as you see both goddesses, not only your mother, but another one is very happy to entrust you with a weapon of legendary importance to both of them.
Yeah, amazing.
That's it.
Yeah, Sionos will invite Artemis to sit with them and spend the afternoon for a bit. Maybe they'll just sit.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. Who else? Does anybody else have anything they want to do around the Iaia?
I do if nobody's got something else, but it isn't for somebody who's here.
Okay.
I'm gonna attempt ascending
Okay.
to
Bring forth the rod.
Nemesis.
To Nemesis. Okay, very interesting. Let's see. Okay, what might your sending be?
You have not been abandoned. We are coming marshal your resources.
You receive a sending in return. Quite quickly, in fact. There is, in the tone of her voice, there is a quietness, almost like a sort of a dimming of voice, of like ability to express themselves, but underneath it is a broiling passion, a fury. And she says, I have felt your fury, Gyasi. I may be gone, but my wrath lives in your hand. I will be ready when you come.
Good.
Fantastic. Is there anybody else? You're muted, Hobos.
Who do I get the sense would have the most information about my father or like his power?
Who would know most about your father's power? You're not gonna like it.
Hera.
His wife, probably.
Okay.
There's a chance Athena probably knows. She is the goddess of tactics and warfare, and a part of tactics is knowing the weapons at your disposal. So there's a good chance she might know some. But obviously Hera is much more intimately familiar with her husband.
Okay. I'll risk it for the biscuit. Let's go talk to Hera.
All right, so you find Hera, you approach, and she turns to you and says, Olympus, King of the Giants, what do you need?
I do not wish to inconvenience you any further. All I ask is for some information, if you would be so kind.
About what?
This bolt that I possess, I know it is only a fragment of my father's power, but my mother, she asked that I draw a rune on her, and that seemed to empower her, but I'm curious what would happen if I were to inscribe this rune on myself. Do you know what would happen? Or have you heard anything of this?
In truth, I would expect you would die, perhaps. You are not yet powerful to wield the full might of Zeus. And to describe a room of storm upon, well, admittedly, from what I know of your mother, she is a remarkably powerful seer. More so than even you, perhaps. Which is why she could perhaps take the power. There may come a time when you and your friends are strong enough to contain such powers as godly weapons. But not yet, I don't think.
I see. Well, that is all that I was curious about.
Excellent.
I feel that it would only be right to say that I apologize for the outbursts, but you and my party, I believe, did not see eye to eye as far as what our motive was, let alone how long we had been there. And I completely understand your side. And from your perspective, it would seem as though we forgot the main objective. And I understand why you felt the way that you felt.
Forgiven.
Thank
May
you.
I suggest, though it is right, of course, to make amends and apologies to the gods, that if you are to be a king, you should apologize to no one.
In this particular instance, with a woman as mighty as yourself and as gracious as yourself, I find it is the only recourse for slighting someone of such importance.
And in this instance, you are quite right.
Thank you for hearing my apology.
She will sort of just turn her back and look back out over the sea. She seems very tense, and as you sort of walk away, you'll find yourself quickly approached by Aphrodite. You'll say, Ouroboros. And as she puts her hand on you, you feel like a overwhelming warmth writhe over your body. And she'll say, You must forgive Hera. She's been confined here to Iaia for quite a long time. You see, she's usually has access to her baths, and, well, a lady needs her bath to keep sane sometimes.
I understand.
You can make a religion check if you wish, or
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, that's enough for you. All right.
Yep,
Like,
I got it.
Okay.
Good to go.
Good to go. Incredible. You walk away. Thalia, you have someone you need to talk to, or someone who needs to talk to you. What do you think you're doing right now? Like, what are you just going to bed, or brushing your hair, or eating some food? What are you doing? You do.
I think she's like practicing the centauri, the instrument that Leonis was teaching her how to play. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I remember that. That's cool. So you're just kind of sitting and playing and performing, and you will see yourself approached by Athena, actually.
She'll immediately stop playing and like stand up. Athena.
She will. She's not in her full godly size. She will sort of approach quietly and offer the seat beside her, and she'll sit down beside you. And she'll say, "Yeah, go ahead."
You were quite impressive in the worm today.
She says, "Thank you, Fallon. But I must let you know that as much as I appreciate your forwardness and indeed your beauty, I'm afraid that it could never be between us."
Sure, it could be something. It doesn't have to be all that you've made it up to be. Oh.
No, you misunderstand. My heart belongs to another.
And you're monogamous.
I am committed to this one who loves me, and I love her.
Well, I wish you and Artemis all the best.
She sort of smiles at that as you've seen through her a little bit, and she'll give you a smile, which is more than most get, and rise and not look back, and will exit the room. And she tries to let you down easy.
Yeah.
And she takes off.
Lilia's pretty heartbroken. I think she's gonna cry about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Small tears, but yeah, she's like, there goes my girl.
Not another one. Oh man, Artemis will always be the girl who got away for Thalia, it seems. Very quickly, as if on cue, Aphrodite just seems to appear there and is like, "Oh my darling girl, no," and just like we'll be there and just comfort you. And
she'll tell her mom all about the rejection, and
she'll be like, "I know, I felt it. I'm so sorry. Your poor heart. Oh my goodness." And you tell her, she listens and everything, but she seems well informed on the whole situation immediately, as it's her domain. And she goes, "The world's just so love. It's such a fun game sometimes, but it can hurt too. Oh goodness. Oh no." And she'll pretend that the dramas of love aren't deeply amusing to her, and we'll pat your head and hold you close to her bosom. Incredible. Is there anybody else who has anything to do here or there?
I'm just.
Go ahead, Katara.
I'm just making potions. We're trying to, so I don't know.
All right. Well, why don't we get to work on that? So you have to combine a couple of these to create like initial infusions, right?
Yeah, I have 8 ingredients to make 4 of the infusions. Don't know if I'll get to all of them, but I am going to start by attuning to Pan's urn. So I removed the slippers of spider climbing to attune to the urn, which should theoretically make things go a little faster.
Absolutely. So you, my friend, get to work. I think Pan hangs out with you. It's like, "Oh, you found me cauldron, have you?" I was wondering where I left that.
Where did I even find that? I don't even remember.
I believe it was given to you by Leonis, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it Leonis or was it Athena?
I think so. No, it was Athena. Yeah, you got it from
Leonis
Athena's...
gave me the pages. I remember that.
That's right.
Oh, it was gifted to me by Athena.
Goes, oh, that's Athena, that sly minx. She always is just up to no good, isn't she? She plays the good girl, but I think she's got a little naughtiness in her. Well, let's see what you got then.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm sure that I'm still hearing side conversations. So I'm watching him like a hawk as I like lay out the ingredients.
And I need to make, well, I need to make the nectar of Artemis, ethereal resonance crystals, draconic breath essence, and ambrosial euphoria elixir. I don't know if I'll get to all of them before we have to go, though.
Just, well, if you want a little help, I'm always willing to be of assistance to a strange young thing as yourself.
And I'll look to the.
Can we trust him?
He goes, trust me? Why, I don't think there's anyone more trustworthy in all the world. Says... helpful as that
Very
is.
well. If you'd like to assist, that would be great.
And all.
Oh, righty then. Well, just call me your wee lab assistant. And we'll go ahead with it. So I need you to make me some alchemy checks. You don't sleep. You don't sleep. So I'm going to let you try and get all 4 done. Sure. But this will be sort of the rest of the day and night. These 4 infusions here. So go ahead. I want you to make the... which one do you want to start with?
We'll just go down the row. We'll do the nectar of Artemis.
The nectar of Artemis. What are the ingredients?
So the harvested dewdrops from a sacred grove under the light of a full moon, which I got from Artemis.
Okay.
And then the extracted essence of night blooming flowers. And that's I got from Demithots. So those are the 2 from those 2.
Understood. Incredible. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a intelligence-based alchemy check?
Ooh.
Or do you think there's a better ability score that you might use to do alchemy with?
I mean, I'm not smart. Let's put it that way. But I do.
So how does Katara come at alchemy?
I'm proficient in herbalism. Like I'm a proficient in herbalism kit. So I don't know if there's a way to, like, alchemy is not her jam.
Okay, that's fine. Herbalism will suit. So, but what ability score do you think Katara uses in alchemy? Does she like feel it out with one of the physical ones? Is she
actually nature? I mean, well, nature's not too bad if that's the intelligent. Well, she's also got Arcana, so like those would be the. But I guess it's not really.
Yeah. So make me
nature work.
This is about ability score, not skill. So like strength, dexterity, column.
Right.
Yeah. So if you want to go with intelligence, as it is a very fair way to use herbalism, why don't we do herbalism? So intelligence plus proficiency with advantage. So if you want to pick one of your proficient intelligence skills, we roll that instead. You'll have advantage. Because Pan is there to help you. Pan's always here to help. You never need to worry about Pan.
Oh, okay. 26.
You take the flowers and you, with a very simple concoction, you are able to put them together and suffuse them into a rather rare and divine concoction. Go ahead for your second one. Which one are you making next?
This is the ethereal resonance crystals. So I need the crystals that were imbued with the harmonious frequencies of the celestial bodies, aligned with planets and stars, and then gemstones charged during a celestial conjunction. Which I got from Festus.
Magnificently rare and pricelessly valuable materials, only to be obtained by a god or those who have spent their life trying to create even one of these. Go ahead and make me the same check again.
Oh, jeez, that one hopped right out. But I got the same thing, 26.
26. You are managed to find a concoction strong enough, but also complex enough to extract those celestial energies from solid stone, and are able to liquefy it down into the concoction you desire.
Okay.
What's next?
The draconian breath essence. So it was the breath of the dragon that I got, and then scales from one of the shields.
Okay, go ahead and make me the same check.
Well, I don't. Okay, I'm gonna keep going with the same dice, guys. 26.
Oh my god! Again,
three 19s.
The most strangest roller in any of my campaigns. You always really strange things. With apparently very consistent results, you are able to blend the again sort of extract the cosmic balancing powers of the breath and bind them once more into another powerful and deeply rare and valuable concoction. It's too bad you need to cure yourself of this curse, because you could do very incredible things with even one of these.
Oh, damn. Tell me like that.
Well, you've been told
yeah, I know.
More will come.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. Okay. And then last but not least, I have the ingredients for the ambrosial euphoria elixir. So stuff that Aphrodite gave me.
All right.
And she scares me, so hopefully I don't have to go back.
You like smell them, and they smell like beautiful scents and flowery and wonderful, and they give you little goosebumps, and you're like, oh. And you go to work. Go ahead and roll again.
So this one, not quite as good. So that's 12 plus 7. My brain, 19.
19. It's tricky. This one was tricky to make, especially considering that you don't care much for the ingredients. A 19. You managed to achieve what you're going for. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
I will say that there was like almost a mishap in there, where the concoctions as you put them together, you came very close to creating a miraculously powerful gas-based love potion. And you're like, you almost have like a panic moment. Pan's like, it's not a big deal. A little love for everyone. We can have a little fun. You're like, and you manage to neutralize the threat and create the true potion you desired. But you almost came close to creating an incredibly powerful love potion.
Sweet.
With that, as the sun begins to rise on the horizon, you have created the potions you desire. And Pan goes, well, this wasn't quite as much fun as I thought it would be, I admit. I'm going to go see if any of the lady goddesses want to go for a romp. Have a good day. And he'll wander away. Incredible.
I assume I'm exhausted. If I didn't,
you're fine. I'm gonna forgo that in this particular
Okay.
instance because you did it in the presence of a god, and you have your magical powers to assist.
speed. Guys, I'm halfway there.
Halfway there. The last thing I think that I have on my list is for you, Ouroboros. You are going to receive a thing from Dimra. She says, it is customary for when a new king is installed that he receive the finest gifts of giant kind. You left before they could be imparted.
I can respond.
You can respond. This functions as a sentence.
You said I can? Sorry.
You can.
Oh, okay. I apologize for that. Hold on to the gifts. I will try to come back in a few days.
Yeah, you don't receive anything else. That's all you get. But the message was passed along. You could feel the magic, the transfer through the power of the storm, and then sort of fizzle out the last word.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah, they were going to give you guys some cool items, but you had a lot to do.
Yeah.
Okay. With that, the party may find their way to a long rest. Each and every one of you may go ahead and hit those buttons as you go. And we're going to go to a break. Tad early, but it's a right spot for it, I think. So let's take 10 minutes and we'll be back soon.
Excellent.
This is the question I was going to ask before. Is there any way I could have contacted Nyx before I went to bed? I just wasn't sure when Katara was done her thing, so I didn't know when.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem.
I could also just wait if it's a big deal.
No, you're good, man. You're good. Let's do it. So how would you like to go about trying to connect to darkness incarnate?
Silenos is gonna. There's like buildings, right? I could find like a room that I could just use on my own. Or
absolutely.
Yeah. So I'll just find like a side room, maybe even like a closet. And I'll spend the evening literally taking every single possession out of that room, just putting it somewhere else. Gonna make the room completely devoid of any items, like nothing, just floor, walls, ceiling, no torches. And then at nighttime, Silenos will through gaining the shadow touch feature, he did get invisibility, the ability to use invisibility. So he's gonna cast invisibility using that rather than like his cloak or his other magic. So he's gonna do that, and then make like a prayer towards Nyx in Primordial, which he now also knows.
Okay. As you speak in Primordial, and you sort of pray in Primordial, there is a sort of arcane reverberance to that, let's call it. It does seem to be somewhat effective towards your desires, towards your ends here. You clear everything out. Make me a wisdom religion check.
Okay, so like a wisdom skill, or sorry.
You're proficient. You should be proficient in religion, so make me a proficient wisdom check. That could be any wisdom skill you're proficient with, if you want.
Got it. It's a 20.
20. You clear everything out of the room. You do this. You have the shroud. You try and connect with darkness incarnate once more. You speak the words in primordial. The words almost seem to reverberate through everything, through the seams of magic, through the divine realms, onto the basics of what is. And you're getting really good at it. You're getting really good at connecting with this primordial entity. It's a lot of practice well done anyway, really. What do you mean to gain from the darkness? What are you here for?
I just Salamos just kind of seeks to be a hunter in the way that he wants to eliminate these foes and have it so that they were never there in the first place. Lock them in Tartarus himself. He wants to reduce his foes to nothing. Kind of the essence of Nyx. Hunt them and then also fix their influence. So I guess that's kind of just he's looking out to Nyx to gain more understanding of his connection, or the connection that he was able to find and understand.
Got it. There is that power in darkness. The power of absence is not only the lack of existence, but the ability to create absence. And you can't help but in that moment, you feel your mind pulled towards a spell you saw before that literally reduced someone to nothing. It wasn't darkness per se, but it reminds you of absence. You remember the moment that your old friend Kyros became nothing, was destroyed by a simple beam of energy and was reduced to dust. This is the sort of power that darkness may possess. It can be a tool to obfuscate and to buff, so to speak, but it can be a power to destroy. And as you speak primordial, and you're in this darkness and you keep gaining these little small comprehensions, but it's so hard because how does one comprehend darkness? Like, how does one even communicate with a being so abstract in its infinite power? But as you speak primordial, as if you suddenly almost strike a nerve in the network of darkness. You find you're not the only one reaching out to darkness and primordial. There are others. You are not alone in seeking the power of the primordial beings of Nyx. You feel a tether. I want you to make me a perception check.
It's a 19.
19. You see the tether, and it is you have seen something like this before. It is a yarn. It's like a string of yarn, and it reminds you of when you met with the Fates. And you look at it and it's not connected to you. And so you have the option to follow it if you wish. But you can hear almost like a sound wave, reverberating sound. You can almost hear primordial within it. You wish to follow it.
Yeah, Silence will.
Do you go backwards or do you go forwards? To the future?
Forwards towards it.
You go forward. You're going through the reverberation and the sound sort of changes in a strange way, like you're moving through this person's speech through time. And you find what is essentially a soundbite, which is essentially Silenos, we welcome you for finding us even in the dark. We are those who have studied Nyx. We welcome you to the way of shadow. May our wisdom bring you closer to the Dark Lady. And it sort of stops as you kind of hit a knot in the string, and you see that there is a sort of glowing green string that's knotted to this one. And you realize that is yours. And in this moment in the darkness, you have found a way to tether yourself to someone else bound to the power of Nyx. And you expect now that your future is tied to this individual. And that whatever path you follow, you will meet them there. And they will give you wisdom to move forward with your designs.
Yeah, he'll just go over this comprehension and just, I guess, I imagine at this point it's subconscious, so he'll just like sleep, thinking of like the presence of the voice, how it sounded, the cadence, and just replaying it. Yeah.
Sort of Liam Neeson with the soundbite, listening to the guy through the phone, just sort of trying to remember the voice. But I think you might just have found someone else who has the same obsession that you do, that is interested in darkness, and maybe has learned a little bit more than you have. Maybe there's something to be learned. With that, you all rise the next day. Katara, you have not slept in a long time, I imagine. But you have completed your potions. Your elixirs are well underway. And all of you rise to meet the next day. What would you like to do?
I think we should start heading out.
Katara wants to find, she's trying to find, she's going to try to find Athena. And she also wants to talk to Silenos at some point. But she has an idea for Athena.
Okay. You find Athena. She is actually speaking to Ares. And you basically catch something along the lines of, when it commences, I want you to fight at the head. He goes, you would leave me for the siege. She goes, yes. Your bloodlust, your ferocity, far is more fitting than my capacity for yours. You should lead the siege. I will not do that. He goes, you make no sense, sister, but I will go to war as I always have. And he sort of stomps away. And she welcomes your invitation and will approach you and say, good morning.
Yes, I suppose it is morning. I didn't really sleep. I had much to do. I've been working on something for quite some time, and I think it's finally where I need it to be. And I think it might help, in the defense of victory and I'll pull out my spell book.
Okay.
And I'll say, I found a way to protect certain individuals so that if they are, rendered unconscious and fighting for their life, there's a chance for them to be restored. For basically a single hit point. It may, if Nike is being targeted, if she is subdued, it might give her a last fighting chance. I can impose this protection upon 6 creatures, and I thought she might be the first. And the party might be some of the others that I conclude.
I see. Is this magic that will take root? Will you spend?
Sorry?
He says, is this magic that will take root? Is this will require power on your part?
No, it just, whoever is essentially rendered unconscious first gains the benefit. And then I have to, recover over a long rest, but it'll protect for the time.
Katara, I want you to save this power for you and your allies, for the Demithots. We go to war to draw out Kronos, but be assured he will wish to capture us, not destroy us. Where you go to find the druids. The druids is the only civilization that has ever managed to survive the gods. We imprisoned the Titans in Tartarus long ago. We destroyed the giants long ago, but the druids, they escaped us. And they have remained escaped for a long time. Whatever defenses they have will be meant to stop gods. You might need it more than we.
I can always just remove her name, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. She'll
it was just a thought of retreat, but if the intention is to effectively get captured, I suppose that wouldn't do very well.
I think it's a bit of both. I don't think we're getting out of there without someone being captured. Going to go after 90. I think the risk lies in you and your party. We must succeed. We will either be completely short-handed if you fail or defeated altogether. But beyond all of you, this is going to be very dangerous for the gods. So keep all of your assets and all of your power if you will.
Very well.
So yeah, and then she'll go to find Silenos.
You find Silenos exits a room that is surprisingly pitch black and has a lot of furniture stacked outside of it. You find him. No problem.
Silenos, I wonder if you might have a moment before we meet the others.
Of course. You look good, Katara.
Yes, that was quite nice of him. And I'll look back to you.
What can I help you?
Well, I know we need to depart, but I wonder if when we return or the next moment of reprieve, if you might accompany me to a trip below. I need some additional ingredients and, well, I think you're the one to help.
Of course. If anyone will be welcomed, I think I've been there a little bit more than the others in the past. So, of course.
To, I guess, show my thanks, and I'll pull out the book, and I've come up with a way to, well, protect everyone somewhat. Been working on it for quite a while, but if you inscribe your name on this page, it'll allow me to restore you to, a bit of life.
Okay. Sure. And he'll
So,
fumble around for a quill. And yeah, he'll just sign Silenos. That's it.
right.
What is it exactly you have to get, if you don't mind my asking? Is it in the land of Nyx?
Oh, it's both. I need to. I need some ingredients from Nyx, and then I need. Well, I need to speak with Alex, as well, and well, and another Titan.
I see. I'm sure just us will be fine. There, I thought you might also find this interesting. There's others contacting Nyx and interested in her domain or lack thereof. I felt a connection to someone before.
And she'll, I guess, turn to the being and you speak with others. Yes, of course. I won't question it again. And I'll turn back to you.
Yes, it is
Okay.
intriguing.
She's still talking to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. No, got it. Yeah, he'll just okay. Whatever I can do to help.
Well, lead the way. I'll follow.
Oh,
And I'll actually just summon my doe right below us, and I'll just tell you can get on. I'll just ride over to where everyone is, and you can just get ready to leave when everyone is.
Oh, okay, great.
Very cool. All right, all of you form up. Team forms up. Ready to get to work.
I'll give everyone a chance to also inscribe their name in the book.
Dahlia will do it. She'll sign her name.
She signs it with her tears of love lost and all of that.
I'm sure the ink that she's giving you is probably it's some type of blood, by the way. But yeah, she's
Actually, just
Don't worry, I
Silenos'
got your
blood.
blood the night
She
before. You don't have to
She
do
didn't
it.
notice. She was.
You just.
I didn't notice. She was just bloodletting me the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like look down. She's got your arm, and she's like pouring into a vial.
I was gonna say she just opened up a vein and is
fine
just like
later.
dip the pen and.
This is fine. Everything's fine. Incredible. Oh, Eloy exists. Eloy says, "Hey guys, I'm still here. I'm alive. I just wanted to say hi. That's all. Goodbye." And she runs off. That's her whole contribution. I'm still around if anyone wants to talk. It's so lonely. Shit, you guys.
There is no way she can be here. I've already carried her limp body in enough fights.
Yeah. Oh no, she's like, I think I'm done fighting, but
Yeah.
still
She
kind of
just
little.
wants friends.
I just want some friends, you know. I just want to write some stories and stuff. Athena will gather you all. Artemis, Artemis will approach you, Thalia, and she will put a branch in your hand, and she will say, "This should help you get to where you're going." Your silence spell is on.
Thank you. How do I use it?
To teleport.
Oh, perfect. It's an associated object.
That is right. It's an associated object. I picked it from a tree yesterday.
Oh, this is super helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Um,
Good luck, everybody. Bye, Silenos.
Salanos in the back. You're the coolest, Mom.
Love you so much.
Oh my god.
She's like, don't forget the bow, honey. Just a little wave and walks away. I love that Silas is the best relationship with out of everybody. I mean, it's Italian Aphrodite.
Let's just not talk about Nyx, and the relationship will be great.
Yeah. We just don't talk about that one thing. We agreed to disagree. But anyway, all of you who have parents here, sorry, that sounded so mean.
Thanks for reminding me, Ryan.
You're about to go get him, okay? Whatever.
Dad never showed me how to hold a flashlight.
It's probably for the best. It's yelling at you for an hour.
Yeah.
Hold the lightning bolt still. Fuck.
I'm sorry. That's it.
Oh my
I'm sending
God.
you to the mortal realm.
Oh, I knew you were half mortal. I didn't think you were half idiot. No. And Aphrodite comes to you, Thalia. She sort of touches your cheeks and gives you a hug. And she says, how was Niobe?
oh, exquisite.
I'm glad to hear. Remember how I told you someone's going to, I think, come into your life and help understand what you're feeling?
Yes.
Soon. Niobe was good. I don't think she was quite who I was speaking. Soon.
Oh.
I'm still trying to figure it out myself, Lily. So you tell me all about it when you find it.
I sure will. You bless me greatly.
And she will give you a kiss on the forehead and tell you that she loves you.
I love you too, Mom, and I have a favor to ask.
Of course, sweetheart. What can I do for you?
Well, I kind of need diamonds.
Well, diamonds are a girl's best friend. She says,
I can
Wonder
pay
if
for
you could.
diamonds.
oh, you can have this, and she'll pull out her, she'll pull out a ring and, pop the diamond off the top of it and hand it to you. And she'll, throw the ring over her shoulder and be like, there you go. And that's about 1,000 gold piece diamond. It is exquisitely cut, by the hand of a god, perhaps.
Incredible. Sweet. Thank you so much, Mother. I forgot to acquire that earlier.
That's okay, sweetheart. Anything for you.
Well, Ouroboros, we get to teleport, your favorite.
I love that. For me.
Most monotone.
Salanos holds his crotch before this time.
Okay, I know the last time didn't go very well, but this time I've got a good feeling about it.
You got it. I believe in.
Yeah, thank you. Your mom is helping out on this one a little bit. a lot, actually. Ready?
Silenos, before I join hands with everybody, you're going to hear in your head, can we trust her?
He'll just shoot a glance right before the teleport, just so concerned.
Athena will say to you all, she'll say, the gods will be watching. I'd ask that you keep us informed of your progress. If you are going somewhere that we do not know exists, there's a good chance we will not be able to keep track of you. So, pray, send, keep us informed of your progress. It will help us time what we are doing to the best effect to aid you. Good luck. Where you're going, I don't know if we will have much influence, but we will keep the Time Lord's eyes distracted for as long as we can. All of our hopes, all of the future of Greece hinges on this. We may be captured. We may be defeated in battle in the near future. It'll be to you to save us from Olympus. Good luck. Hopefully, we will see you soon.
And I'll cast teleport.
All right. Let me roll a D100. No, wait, you have an associated item. You're totally good. You guys teleport. Tal'Dorei can hold your crotch. Everyone sort of winces. And as you feel yourself, but this time it feels much more fluid. It isn't like sort of you expand infinitely this time, where it's almost like you expand across the universe and sort of focus in, hopefully at the right object, like being like ping-ponged across the galaxy. It feels very intentional. It feels very much almost like you're sort of wrapped around the power of the teleport and the branch that Thalia holds, and you are brought back to its place of origin. And as you find yourself standing in, essentially it is a small plain of land. There is a small fishing village down by the shoreline. Thalia, you're sort of holding your hand up and you realize where the branches snapped. You are holding it to the end of like a still attached portion to a tree. You're like, huh. As the branches return to its original place. But you look around and you see that you are surrounded by water to the north, south, and east, and inland, which is west, there are mountains. You see a little fishing village down by the shore. That is the fishing village of Peristos. What would you like to do?
Silas runs up to Thalia and gives her a hug. Says, "Good job."
Thanks.
They're good, champ.
Well, let's head over, right?
Let's do it.
Have any of us been here before? Like, does this, or just all new?
Leonis knew them, and I'm gonna name drop and hope for the best.
That's all we can hope for.
As we're walking there, can I just perception check behind us if anyone is like following us or has?
Perception check.
Uh, 14.
14. You look around, trying to see if anyone's watching you, following you. You look off to the mountains where past Keristos, to the west. And though they obscure it, you know that Mount Olympus hides on the other side. Since you've heard so much, you can almost feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand. You cannot see it or perceive it in any physical sense, but you can't help but wonder if Kronos' eyes are on you at this moment. Other than that, they seem to be following you or watching you. You walk down to the fishing village. You walk down. It's a very humble fishing village. There's a couple cottages and, small rafts and boats and such. This is not a place of tremendous wealth. Very much built by hand by the local individuals. It is less than a hamlet. It is less than a small village. It is a very, very small fishing village of probably no more than 100 people. No more. They're not dressed very well. They just wear very simple tunics, very simple goods, linens. And as you walk through, there is an immediate and initial awe of both wonder and possibly fear, as all of you in your exceptional endowed magic items and terrifying apparel and valorous appearance and extraordinary beauty walk through this village of very normal individuals.
As I was gonna say,
Ouroboros, what's your passive perception?
Passive is 18. They probably think I'm a giant.
no.
You're looking around. You stand head and shoulders over everybody, and I mean everybody. But you catch a glimpse of a most peculiar sight down a nearby street. You see a young boy who has no hair, black mark across his skin over his face. He's sort of just like looking behind the building at you. And when you see him, he kind of and disappears behind the building. He's gray skin, no hair, black mark in his face.
I'll kind of reach a hand out, and as he goes away, I'll sort of try to find him. Excuse me, wait.
Okay, you guys notice that Ouroboros gets a little distracted. But I guess that's the point. We'll get to that in a second. But this is a very normal fishing village. There's nothing particularly exceptional or magical about this place. What would everyone like to do? Ouroboros is going to go look at the kid. What about anybody else?
I'm specifically, I know it seems normal, but Katara is going to keep an eye out for basically anything that's magical or someone in disguise. She's looking for if there is anybody that seems to be hiding some type of stronger magical abilities or items to see if she can direct the party of where to go.
Yeah, absolutely. You wander through, very dark and fearful, and as you sort of trail off from the party, it's very like Clint Eastwood walking into the village and all the windows shut and people run in their houses and pull their children through doors. You walk around and look with your incredible eyes, near godlike in their ability to unravel the mysteries of magic. You don't find anything. Roll me an investigation check.
Oof. Oh, I'm so good at this, guys. 7.
Again, you don't find anything of too much importance, unfortunately. And perhaps to your, because you've been surrounded by incredible magic for quite a long time. And this is very mundane, very regular village. Who else?
What do I recall about the druids that Leonis might have told me, or what do I know of druids?
We had one.
Let's call it a history check.
22.
22. Leonis told you that if you go to Karistos, it should lead you to finding the druids. That he has given you the opportunity to, he has negotiated for you all to meet with them. There's no promise of alliance from them as of yet, but they have allowed you an audience should you arrive to negotiate such a truce. They hate the gods, they despise the gods. You were told by, you also knew another druid long ago at the beginning of your voyage, whatever her name was. And she helped guide you out of the woods of Athens, and she was fairly oblivious to the larger culture of druids altogether. But what you know about that culture is that after the first Gigantomachy, the druids revolted against the gods. After that happened, and the gods hunted them to near extinction, but many of them did manage to escape the wrath of the gods somehow and sort of vanished from the mortal plane, and nobody's really sure how.
Okay, sweet. If we're supposed to already hold audience, did you say with the druids or the people of Kiristo?
The druids.
The druids, okay. So we gotta find someone here to get us there.
Right. Is there like a main building or anything, or like anywhere like people are congregated?
There's a town square. There's no like building of government as far as you can see. There's no sort of larger tavern or anything like that, but there is a village square.
Okay.
You want to head in that direction?
Yeah, and as we're walking there, I just want to duck into an alley, and I'm gonna cast Disguise Self on myself.
Okay.
As just like a common person who I've like just seen like 10 minutes behind, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm gonna walk into the square deliberately before everyone else does.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna try and like integrate with like a mass of people. And as everyone enters, I'm gonna be like I'm gonna whisper like, "Oh, it's the Demithots. I wonder what they're here to see." Like, yeah,
Very clever, very clever. I want you to make me either a performance or a deception check. Is your choice.
it's gonna be a nat 20 for a 27.
Nice.
You walk out of the alley.
Fucking
They
awesome.
go. You walk out of the alley and they go, Michael, what are you doing, you son of a bitch? You want to come over and get another drink, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Hey! Give me a hug. Apparently, the guy that you're impersonating from the village is a really popular guy. You go, come on, have a drink, hey! Listen, how's the wife? How's she doing, huh?
You know, she's a pain in my ass, but I have somewhere to go home to.
Oh, don't I know it? That old ball and chain, huh? And like,
Oh, look over here.
Oh, what have you seen, Michael? You mean the Demithots?
Have you ever seen any? Where?
I mean, if you haven't seen them, Macon, surely we haven't seen them. But of course we've heard of them. The Demithots and their adventures, that's them?
Surely it seems like it. They must be here. They must know. I don't understand.
We have to go. Let's go say hi.
Yeah, and I'll walk over with that person.
Absolutely. So Ouroboros is kind of trailed off. So it sounds like it's Thalia and Gyasi who are kind of the Demithots as they enter. So Gyasi and Thalia, you suddenly find yourself surrounded. Silenos has vanished. You saw Katara sort of like off into the village. Ouroboros wandered off. But suddenly you see a crowd of like fishermen and fishermen's wives sort of surround you, and they go, "It's Gyasi, the greatest captain in all the Aegean! It's incredible! They say his knife is faster than even Hermes." And it's like the Thalia, and they go, "The beautiful! This is Thalia, the most beautiful woman in Greece! I cannot believe it! My eyes!"
I jump in front. Enough, everyone! Allow them.
Listen to my
These
call.
are
He's
heroes
right.
in
He's the
Greece.
guy. He knows. And he's like, get them some space.
Great Demithots. What brings you to our village? How may we help you? And I will take Thalia's hand and I'll kiss it. And I'll like
One of the guys
just
is
give
like,
it
that's
a
Mike
knowing
on.
squeeze. I don't know.
That's Mike on the old charmer. He always puts it on.
Oh my god.
If anyone can make it happen with Thalia of the Demithots, it's that Mike on.
And you, great captain, what can we do to what brings you here? Good talk.
I'm so sorry.
Good talk.
Good talk, guys.
So I'm sorry. So we seek your help, actually. We are in search of fabled druids in these parts.
And I'll look over to the guy that I've been talking to.
Yeah, what's a druid? Mycon, you're such a man of the world. Do you know what a druid is?
I mean, I know, but do you know?
At this point, can we look over the crowd and see if anyone kind of reacts to that?
Make me an insight check, absolutely.
At 20.
20. You look over the village, you look around, you see that there is I'll say that like the men, so like the fishermen have come up to sort of you guys, Gyasi, Thalia. You do see that there are a number of young women, probably like fishermen's daughters or young wives, sort of teenage in age, who are sort of like looking at all of you with interest, but they seem to be speaking amongst themselves with this sort of almost like there's something that they know, like there's more to it, or like a drama that they're discussing, based around you, of course.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and I will take note of them and kind of watch them in the crowd.
And what in the crowd, sorry?
And like keep an eye on them.
Oh yeah, you keep an eye on them. They seem to still want to like keep an eye on you, but they kind of like talk to each other, like just with the, I don't even want to say concern, but certainly alerted interest, as if there's something more to your being here than just the wonder of your appearance.
Mm-hmm. After the crowd dissipates, I'll go follow them, I guess, or find them.
Got it. Well, I got bad news. These fishermen, you're the coolest thing these fishermen have ever seen, and probably the coolest thing they'll ever see in their lives. This crowd is not going away. Probably not anytime soon.
I will usher her into a building and then close the door behind.
So Thalia, this one fairly attractive.
Well, yeah, she's trying to leave, and then like people are messing with her. I would be like the person, like a villager, like stepping in to trying to help.
Yeah. Oh, they're not messing with her. They're being generally respectful, but they're like it's fucking I don't know, like
Michael Jordan showing up.
The Beatles have come to town.
The Beatles have just come to town. Thank you. The Beatles have just come to town. It's definitely a reverence that they show, not like an insult. But yeah, there's sort of an excitement there. So I'll tell you what. Why don't we step away from what's going on in the market there for a second, and we'll come to why don't we do you, Ouroboros?
Okay.
So you kind of follow this kid stomping around corners. He's not hard to follow. He is a child. And you follow him to this one hut at the edge of the village. And he kind of like runs up like sort of a little away from the village. It's not too far. It's in the outskirts of the village, but not too far. It's only like maybe a couple hundred feet from the village. He sort of like runs up a path and up to the village and opens the door and closes it behind him and sort of like goes inside the hut.
I'll walk up to the door.
The door frame is probably like the top of it's probably here on you.
I will politely knock.
Knock. There's a little bit of like, you could hear some words being passed along inside, a little too muffled to be heard. Doesn't sound anxious. And then the door opens and you see, poking their head out is, again, a very simple fisherman. Little on the older side, like maybe his hair is sort of go a little salt and pepper. You can see the sort of, that fisherman look on his face, like he's been around the sea a lot, that sort of wrinkles across his face. He's got that old salt look. His wife comes to the door. She's actually quite pretty for a fisherman's wife. And they sort of come to the door, and the gentleman will say, hello, sir. What can we do for you?
Hello. I just came by to
you see
see
the boy
what the
sort of at the woman's skirts, sort of like looking at you from behind her skirts.
I've just come to investigate the people around this area. You see, I'm on a mission of great import, and before I go farther into said mission, I would like to know from the people exactly what it is they've seen or how they live, so that I get a better feeling for the objective to be completed.
I am very sorry, sir. I'm not exactly sure what you're asking me. You want to know about Kerstos?
Sure. I'm sure that you have some time. I don't mean to intrude. I merely want to rest my legs a bit, and this house seemed quite inviting.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion. A 17.
17?
Yep.
Sort of looks at you and your bearing. You have these like bronze gauntlets. You've got the giant slayer on your back, this lightning spear. You're regardless of the weaponry, just your imposing figure. He goes, it would be my family's honor to perhaps give you some rest. I admit, sir, you are quite a grand warrior. Maybe a little too grand for my humble home. Could I bring you some water and a seat to sit on our porch?
Sure. I can understand that my stature can be a bit unwieldy sometimes. I would like to get to meet your family, if that's all right.
The honor of ours, good warrior. Please, dear, get the, and they immediately start like they get their nicest chair out, which isn't that nice, but certainly sturdy enough to handle your weight. And they start, like talking inside, about you being there, and surely an individual of your stature, just sort of arriving out of the blue, brings a little suspicion and concern or reverence. And as they're talking, you kind of see the kid kind of like peeking out the door frame at you as you sit near toward it.
I'll try not to stare and just give maybe a quick glance and smile as I continue talking to the fisherman.
Yeah, well, he's inside right now, like getting your water and stuff. Make me just like a general charisma check, just a flat face charisma check.
You got it. Flat 16, no modifier.
The kid looks around the door frame. He's like looking you over, and he kind of sort of reveals himself. Again, he's wearing like a simple tunic. And now that you've kind of got him a little closer, you do see that like the mark on his face does circle around the back of his head, goes down his back, and sort of loops across his chest, and sort of like around his left pack.
Is it like mine?
Yeah.
Like how my skin is?
Yeah. He said he kind of like. You also see that he does have blue eyes, and he looks at you and kind of goes, "Is that I like your spear."
Which one is he referring to?
The javelin of lightning.
I pull it out and I say, yeah, it's Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought my shit froze. You do you? Here, why don't you hold it?
Okay.
And I'll place it in his little hands.
His little hand takes it. He kind of looks at it, and this is a really young kid. Like this is maybe like 3 or 4 years old. Just by his like, he's a little big in stature for a 3 or 4 year old. Just the way he speaks and the way he is. There's I mean like just tall, like a little bit more overgrown. But the way he speaks and his language and everything, it gives you a sense he's very young. He looks at it and just kind of, it's very heavy. It's a little heavy for him, but again, he's strong for a kid. In fact, actually, no, I take it back. He holds it rather comfortably, despite his tiny size. And he kind of like looks at it like surprise and just like looks at it with like awe and wonder as the like little harmless sparks of lightning sort of across the haft, and he looks at it fearlessly.
Be careful with that. My father gave me that one.
Wow, you must have a really cool father.
When he wants to be.
He'll give it back and still kind of look at it with that look of like, you know, he's a kid, like he's trying to be polite, but everything in his eyes say, "I want it." You know?
Thank you. And I'll put it back.
Cool.
What's your name?
My name is Amenius.
Minius?
Amenius.
Amenius. My name is Ouroboros.
Wow. Cool. And he's just wowed by you, and then the fisherman comes out, and he'll tell the kid to go back inside, like very kindly, not like shoot, but he's like, "Why don't you go help your mother in the kitchen?" He's like, "Okay." And he'll kind of like smile at you before he goes off inside, and he says, "Oh, he looks a lot like you, doesn't he?" But yeah, he's a good lad.
He seems it.
Yes. Very strange. We actually found him not too far from the village, wrapped in swaddled in cloth, and we took him in, and he's grown very fast. But he's special. I don't know why, but he's special.
He is. I know that.
There you go. And he'll hand you your water. And he'll tell you a little about the village. What do you want to ask him about? I'll tell you what. Why don't you think on that? We'll peel away and we'll go to some other people in the party. But you sit with the fishermen and maybe you can ask them some stuff. Who has stuff they'd like to do in the village? Gyasi, Sianos, and Thal, you have your thing going on in the town squares. Is there anything you guys would like to do?
I would like to stick with Silenos and telepathically tell him to like point out the individuals that I noticed.
I will say you don't know who Silenos is right now.
Oh, you're right. That's sorry. That's
It's all
right.
good. It's all good.
Okay. Well, I think I've made progress in any case, so I'd want to try to find a party member and tell them. So,
Yeah, excited.
oh, sweet. I'll telepathically tell Gyasi, those folks over there look like they might know something. I don't know. I have a feeling.
Okay. At which point, Gyasi will make a direct, straight line march to them.
Okay, you just sort of put the people out of your way, and they're like, "Whoa, he touched
Nope.
me!" And
I'll put the wings on and go up and over.
oh, even better, you flutter over them like, "Here's the boots of Hermes," and they're like, "Ooh!" And you land right in front of these women who are sort of in shock and awe of your spectacle, and you land there, and they sort of like kind of bow to you. They're not or curtsy to you. They're not really sure how. They're like, "Hello, you are one of the Demithots. It's so good to meet you. What could we ever do for you, sir?"
We are in dire circumstance.
Oh.
We need to speak with the keepers of nature and balance. All of Greece stands on the precipice. Can you help us contact them?
Make a persuasion or intimidation check with a very low DC.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that'll be a 4.
A 4?
This is not what I do.
I guess not. No. Yeah, I'm gonna give you advantage. You're fucking Gyasi of the Demithots, and these are some fish girls. They're gonna take the advantage. It's fine.
That's better. That's 17.
All right, there we go. Much more reasonable. They look at you with the look of like. They look at you like Zeus himself just came out of the sky. Well, almost quite literally. Like Perseus or Hercules or Hermes himself came out of the sky and delivered them a divine quest in their regular old lives. And they go, of course, we'll help however we can. We were told that you would come. You and your Demithot friends. The one with the markings on the body and the long blonde hair. He came to us some time ago, and he told us that you would come. Yes, come with us. Come with us. You talked much with the elders, and they will very excitedly to have some importance. This will be probably the biggest mission they've ever taken in their lives, to take you to the elders of the village. They take you, Gyasi. Thal, you're having a little maybe you have some magic on you, but you're a little swarmed by all the fishermen who are very interested to meet you. And they bring you, Gyasi, to a further part of town. It's a low but slightly longer house. And you enter within, and you do see sort of the village elders in there that are being tended to by some young of the village. But again, some of the older of the village, old salts and so on. And you enter, and they all kind of sort of go, elders, this is Gyasi of the Demithots. It is who what was his name? And they go,
Leon.
yes, and they go, oh, and then they are sort of awed at the fact that you speak his name. And then he goes, you've done well, girls. Go now, go. And they go, oh, yes. They bow, and then the young ladies sort
Thank
of
you
leave.
all.
They go, oh, of course. And they like curtsy. And as they walk away, they kind of like together as they've had a big and exciting moment with a Greek celebrities, technically. But the elders sort of, yes, come in. This is the time has come. We were visited by a friend of yours. He was a young man with long blonde hair and blue eyes and marked with wings across his body. He came to us and told us that you would be here and that we were to direct you up the mountain.
That day is indeed sadly here.
I see. Well, we have been preparing. Our strongest hunter has been prepared to make the journey and guide you up the mountain.
That is very, very kind and most appreciative.
Yes, sir. And they talk to one of the young men and says, Bring Pythios. It is time. And that young boy sort of nods and he leaves and he'll return rather quickly with a young man with sort of chocolate brown hair, dark chocolate brown hair, brown eyes, tanny skin, strong, physically very strong. He'll take you make the journey really well. He's got a bow slung across his back. He's got a bag over his shoulder. And he bows to you, Gyasi, and he says, I am the village hunter, Pythios. I know the mountains well, and I would be very happy to show you and yours to the site that your friend Leona spoke of. It would be my honor to show you the way.
I am glad to have your guidance and expertise. I'm certain that my companion Silenos will find your company most refreshing.
You honor me with your words, sir. I shall wait at the village entrance for you and your party, if that suits you, and we can make the journey just as soon as you and your friends are ready. And he will depart. He'll have a stick, because you need a walking stick if you're going to do any kind of traveling. Very important. And yeah.
At which point I will take the rod of Hermes and send 1, 2, 3, 4 people ascending.
Okay.
And it's going to be our guide is going to meet us at the entrance. Let's go.
Fair enough. Yep, you all receive this. Thalia and your swarm, you receive this. Salanos, as a part of the swarm, you receive this. Katara, on the other side of town, scaring the bejeebus out of some fishermen's wives. And Ouroboros, as you sit there and share water with the fishermen, you all receive the messenger. The messenger sends you his message. You all make your way, or is there anything you want to do?
Yeah. I'll kind of begrudgingly, I'll begrudgingly kind of like in front of the fisherman, and I do not have a lot of time here. My name is Ouroboros, and I want you to know that the boy has family. I am his brother, I believe.
I see.
I grew up very much like he is living now. very humble means in a mountain around Sparta. I have lived a very, very hard life. I've had very, very good things happen to me also. Him and I both have an older brother. I don't know what path he diverged down that made him the way he was, but he was a very bad man in life. And I would like Amenius. Is that his name?
Amenius.
Amenius. And I would like Amenius to have a safe and loving and caring life away from the violence that his older brother and I have experienced. And I think you and your wife, are great people, very caring people. And I feel if there was ever anyone on this world that could give him that love, it would probably be you two.
I am appreciative of your faith, but as I assume you're sort of getting ready to leave,
Yeah.
he sort of like rises to it. He goes, "You do me great honor, sir, but I have so many questions. I must know who are you? Who is his father? How will I ever how will I find you if the boy needs to know who you are?"
His father. And I'll lean in very closely. His father is Zeus. His mother is a giant named Dimra. And I understand this is quite a lot for you to hear. But trust and believe that what I am saying is the truth. I am a demigod of Zeus.
As you leave him stunned,
Yeah.
and shocked, you walk away. You've
Oh,
officially given.
yeah. I'll tell him
have,
like I'll be back.
yeah. You say I'll be back. You officially give Amenius the coolest fucking backstory of any adventurer ever, and walk away. With that, as I assume the party does gather, you gather at the edge of the village. You will see a somewhat underwhelming visage of your guide. Perhaps maybe one or two of you are expecting some druidy, super guy. But you find a rather humble hunter from a rather humble village with a walking quarterstaff, to put it mechanically, but a walking stick, a simple short bow made out of twigs and string, and a simple tunic. As all of you gather, he is immediately overwhelmed by the presence of the Demithots and bows graciously and says, "Thank you. for the honor to guide you all as your friend asked me to. He described the land, and I've been to the mountains many times. I will be happy to show you the way. I've made the trip a couple times to be sure that I was going in the right place. I will be happy to show you if you are ready to go. Okay.
By all means.
So
Lead on.
Yes, okay. And again, probably the most important thing this guy will ever do in his entire life, he begins to guide you up the mountain, which will take a couple hours. And he is very quiet, very like a little stiff. He's definitely trying to like look like he knows what, like he can. I'll say Silenos, you being a ranger, like you see that like, you know, he's doing the checks right. He's looking at the tracks and he's, you know, checking the sun and he's making the right motions, but he's being a little excessive about it. You get the sense he's like really trying to show that he's doing his best.
That's okay. Silenos will buy into it. He'll ask questions so that this kid looks good. And he'll ask him about what he does for like ranger stuff.
Okay, all right. And yeah, and he tells you he's like a level 1 ranger.
Yeah, and we'll just talk about stuff that he's learned and stuff. And yeah, he'll just ask questions so the kid can make himself look good and feel good.
Yeah. And he's happy to talk about it, and you kind of get the stress off of his back. And, he tells you, yeah, that he's pretty good with the bow, and but probably not as good as you, of course. But you know, he's been working the terrain for a while now, and I think he's got it figured out a lot of facets that people miss out about traveling. You know, he talks to you about the very basic, like, favored terrain and natural explorer. He's his favorite enemy is beasts. He's just a level 1 ranger guy, and he's doing his best. He shows you up the path. There is a point, which is we're gonna just gloss over very narratively, where like a pack of wolves does sort of. He goes, "Oh, there's wolves." I mean, normally I just kind of be safe and go around. But you all.
And that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do.
If you okay, sure. But whatever you
blast.
Katara just goes and fires 4 elevated blasts into the wood, and you hear as Katara immediately incinerates those wolves with eldritch power, and he's like, "Whoa!" Just wowed by fucking high level magic power cantrip. And he goes, "Man, I wish I could do more than Hunter's Mark, dude." He's like, and he's super impressed. And he takes you guys up the mountain.
So yeah, what'd you say the best way to build a fire was? You said like the TP or like the like after the fucking explosion and shit happens?
Yeah, Ouroboros is like, "You think it's TP?" Or and he goes,
"Yeah, I've always been more of a lean-to guy."
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
He starts sweating a little bit. He goes, like, he's got to answer it correctly as he's looking at Silenos and sees like a high level ranger. He's like, I mean, it depends, right? Like if it's like really windy out, like you don't want to have anything. Like, it's sometimes good to like. I mean, a guy came through once and he told me about this fire you make under, and he starts talking about like really just like really nervously going into like everything he knows about making fires. And to his credit, he knows a bit, not as much as you guys. He gets a couple things wrong where Silas, you're like, well, like you'd be surprised actually if you do it this way. You could if you want, you don't have to, but like,
he does it in the nicest way, like corrects him in the nicest way. Yeah,
like a friendly tip maybe. But like he knows a lot for a level 1 ranger, but he misses some things because he's a level 1. But by the end of the day, as the day is sort of going to a close, there is, and you guys have made your way up the mountain, you've been hiking all day. He says, "Okay, so it's about 7 hours now." He says, "Okay, so I was told by your friend that this is where I go no further." He says that there should be a waterfall. I've seen it myself. I went to go take a look, so I promise you it is there. Just keep traveling for another 5 minutes up the road to a waterfall, and you are to travel through the waterfall. He told me not to do it, so I have not done that. I do not know why he told me it would be very dangerous. So I have not done that, but I've seen the waterfall. 5 minutes in that direction, you go through the waterfall, and you will find what you seek, is what he said.
Gyasi will go up to him and shake his hand.
Yeah.
And I will place a coin purse in his hand. For you and your village, you have the thanks of the Demithots. I wish you all well. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Slim. He's not impolite enough to sort of start counting the coins in front of him. He takes the gift graciously and he ties it to his belt. And he sort of either shakes the hand or bows graciously to every individual in the party and says, it has been truly my life's honor to have been able to help in some small way. We have heard of your tales, and just thank you for everything that you do. Thank you.
And for what it's worth, he was paid 50 platinum.
Holy shit.
He's going to walk. So maybe about 5 minutes after you've left, maybe you're like looking at the waterfall in a couple minutes and you're going, no, what if you hear like a holy fucking shit from like downwards? Yeah, that village is not going to be a fishing village for much longer.
I like to think that he just leveled up. He's
Yeah,
now
he
level
totally
2.
just leveled up, man. He totally just
Thanks,
leveled
Pete.
up.
Before he goes, Ouroboros would walk up to him and I'll place a hand on his shoulder and I'll get down if it's better. I don't know. And I'll say, there's a boy in your village. His name is Aminius. Can you see to it that you just give him a message?
Of course.
All I need you to tell him is that he is loved.
I will share this message. Miss Ouroboros said. Thank you for the task.
Thank you.
And with that, he will take his leave of all of you and will begin his descent down the mountain, return back to his village, and bring them the prosperity of the demigod of thieves, though obtained by much nicer means.
Yeah. And as soon as he starts walking down, I'll kind of look to everybody and be like, yeah, that boy was my brother. He seems happy, loved, and cared for. It's a fisherman and his wife. A lot like me growing up. But I just want you all to know that if I don't make it and any of you do, please make sure that he is cared for. And that will be my dying wish. And I will forever look to you from the other side with the utmost gratitude and care. Thank you.
Hey, of course, buddy, but don't expect that wish to be honored because we're gonna need a king.
Yeah, I'm not dying anytime soon, so you know.
Good. And yeah, I'll lead us towards the waterfall.
Yeah, let's go get wet.
You guys make your way down the way.
Beat ya.
As promised by the good ranger, who is now level 2. You guys come upon a rolling waterfall into a pristine stream. Silence. It is you, I think, who feels through your own power that stems from nature itself. Through darkness, greatly, but through nature as a whole. You feel your powers just... It's almost like you never knew before. But you were sort of... The best way to describe it is you were pulling your power through a tight straw. And in this moment, you feel like that straw is widening. It's almost like easier, more fluid to pull your power as you get nearer to this waterfall. It's strange. It just feels more easy to cast magic, more easy to pull that power, more fluid.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think we're going in here quietly. So, yeah, so I also just kind of feel this and just kind of keep it bottled up. I mean, I'll look to everyone else. Do we want to go in quietly? Or
That doesn't seem exceptionally hospitable.
that's my thinking exactly. We needed these people, so
Yeah, I mean,
We
if
need
they
them
have
more
any
than they
problem,
need us.
precisely.
hopefully they don't have any problems with the sons and daughters of gods. I mean, I
Oh,
feel
I
like they might have a
suspect
chip on their shoulder.
I'm
I imagine
expecting.
they'd have reason to. Let's go
Yeah,
find out why.
But,
And
that happens to everybody.
ain't that the truth, brother? And he'll punch you in the shoulder.
Gyasi goes flying across street.
I love that joke, dude.
accidentally overdrive strike.
Oh shit!
No, sorry.
And he lands
Yeah,
on his
and
feet.
then I'll lead us in.
I was just gonna say, when we approach the waterfall, is it giving vibes of like that we're entering a different plane of existence? Like, is that the type of magic?
Could you tell me all of your million senses that you see through your eyes again? You get stuff right now.
I have basically permanent detect magic.
Yeah.
I can see through all pretty much every illusion.
Yeah.
The 150 or 120 foot dark vision. I think that's the big ones.
You see
I think that's it.
glasses and stuff too, I think. Right?
Yeah, like there's like they can't hide if they're within 30 feet of me, like there's nothing that can hide like any sort of like illusion or whatever. So Silenos is the only one that gets around that because he's got that cloak. But everybody else, like if they were hidden in any illusion magic or like the changelings, like they wouldn't be able, like I'd be able to perceive them.
What about the ethereal plane?
You mean you
question.
can't see the ethereal plane?
Yeah, I got devil sight, witch sight, and then I have the permanent detect magic. So
cool.
Yeah.
You are detecting powerful abjuration magic from the water flowing down the waterfall itself.
Okay. So I think if we're going to message the gods before we go, we should do it now.
Whoever has the message.
I got it.
The flare.
What would you like to say, Gyasi?
And I'm gonna send it to Athena.
Okay.
We've arrived at the mountain of the druids. Negotiations are about to begin. Once we traverse whatever the path is, I'll message you again.
She'll say, If that is the case, we will stand by in preparation for the siege of Pellas. We await your word. And or signal, she will say. Well, the last thing she'll put in there is, and remember, if now is the time for dragons, message me.
What was the last part? And remember.
If now is the time for dragons, message them.
Oh.
So we go in.
All right.
I think we're gonna need them later. Plus, I don't
Probably.
actually have the contact for them anymore. I gave it to Talia, so she's got the skill.
You guys into the water. It's a little deeper for some than others, but you make your way towards the waterfall. As you get to the waterfall, it is powerful abjuration, and as you sort of touch the water, it doesn't feel good. You sort of like find yourself retracting your hand very quickly, almost instinctively. Whether it be that your hand sort of, whether it's, you're not sure if your hand fully bounced off the water, or if something sort of forced you to sort of back your hand away from the water. Anyone who wishes to pass through this waterfall will need to make a wisdom saving throw as they do so. I'll say a wisdom saving throw or a con save. I'll allow either one.
Appreciate that.
I feel obligated to try.
Sure.
But I'm assuming that shape water just to, part the curtain.
You attempt to part the curtain. You feel the spell sort of bounce off of the magic of the waterfall in the first.
I got a 31 con save.
You go in there and you take it. I will say though, it is still hard. Like you find that there's something almost like your very body is abjured to go through, but the might inside of you allows you to push through, and Ouroboros disappears into the waterfall.
Gyasi got a 21 for his con save.
Same thing, Gyasi. Maybe it's even a little bit more of a struggle for you, but you're able to push through and power through, and Gyasi vanishes into the waterfall.
25 con.
Same thing for you, Katara. It feels wrong and unright. The water splashing over you, like everything in your body tells you to go back or to be absorbed back, but you force yourself into the waterfall and you disappear into it.
I got a 12.
You're like, you see all your friends sort of going in, you're like, yeah, I got this. And you try and push within, you're sort of, it feels almost painfully wrong, and you find yourself sort of revolted by its interior. You're pushed back. You have advantage against magic, though, don't you?
Is it a spell? Yeah, I do.
This is a magical effect.
Okay. If it's not an actual spell, then I don't have it.
No, you will be allowed. You'll be allowed to take the advantage.
Oh, okay.
I think I know. Did you roll wisdom or con?
I rolled wisdom.
Okay.
But con would have been 10 times worse.
Yeah.
19.
19. You get really close this time. You try and submerge yourself in the water, but you just can't make the full push through, and you're fronted backwards. It's like just by the very cusp of your being, are you not able to make it through?
Can I pull him in?
Make me an athletics check, Ouroboros.
Oh yes. I get to use my ability. No, I don't.
Whoa.
35 athletics.
35 athletics.
Grab him by his head. The fuck.
I imagine it's like you see his hand like come through and then just like shoot back out, and then like his like other leg like goes in and then back out.
I pull whatever body part it is. I just pull you all the way through.
Yeah, give it to me. I'll take it.
You take 36 psychic damage, Silence.
Awesome. Love it.
Oh.
Sorry, buddy.
Thalia?
I rolled a 13, but then if that fails, I re-rolled for a 24.
You are able to push through with your 24. I'm not even going to ask how you re-rolled. I'm sure you have some way of doing it. You managed to push your way through. Though, again, it feels strange and odd. You're able to push past whatever is going on here. And you make your way to the other side. Give me a second while I just set the scene.
Does psychic damage just like actually feel like just like the worst headache of your life? Or is it like constriction or like how does that work?
Depends. I think it depends on how you've taken the damage, because there's some spells that do psychic damage, like Phantasmal Force, to make you believe that you're taking damage, and that's why your brain hurts. So like you feel like you think you're on fire, and your brain takes that. It's sort of like the Matrix. You know how in the Matrix, like you get punched and you die in the Matrix, and your brain actually dies. It's like that. So there's many ways that
that's wild. That's crazy.
You guys all find your way through the waterfall. As you do, you make your way into some brush. You push past the brush. It's very sort of Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, where they're sort of pushing past, and suddenly there's trees, and you sort of fall out of the trees and find yourself in... Ooh, that's not right. Find yourself in a place where everything is slightly more saturated than normal, where the trees are abundant and leaves are upon the ground. But you all have made it through the waterfall into a land untouched by any with divine blood in possibly forever. You don't really know where you are, but Katara, I will say, as you were going through the waterfall, you did find a sort of seam of conjuration as you did step out. But you have done it. You have made it. You find yourself sort of standing in the brush where the trees have sort of almost naturally formed into a strange barrier. And you see some fires lit around sort of a rocky center beyond. It doesn't look like man-made. It's strange. It's almost as if nature perfectly fell to form what you need. Like when you're going up a hike and there's sort of a natural stone step. It's like that, but it's almost too much natural convenience. It's very odd. But again, Silenos, your magics have never felt more at your fingertips than they are now.
Okay. I will cast in this place, like in nature, in this heightened sense. I will cast. I don't know if I can do this. I'll cast a 4th level locate creature on the druids in this area, and I'll like kind of. I imagine that for these purposes are just kind of like a, just like smelling in the air and feeling the breeze and just kind of instinctually knowing where to go.
Got it. Yeah, you cast the spell and you feel magic swirl around you like never before. So much so that you feel your magic is a little more extended than it used to be. You don't find any druids within 1,000 feet, but you do feel the spell sort of coaxing you forward into the clearing ahead. And you sense that that's not... There are no druids within 1,000 feet, but if you were to find them within 1,000 feet, you would need to go that way.
Yeah, Silenos will just be drawn, I think, to that direction.
All right. Everybody follow?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna summon Coriol and have him fly above.
All right.
And
no problem.
just to try to get a bit of a aerial view of what we're walking into.
As you summon Coriel, Coriel is looks. The beak is slightly longer. The black raven feathers sort of have almost like an iridescent black design that sort of sylvanly swirls across its wings. Its eyes have turned green. There's something more magical about Coriel. Something more, I don't want to say flamboyant, but almost storybook about Coriel in this world.
Right. Cool.
Flutters up into the air. As you all enter into the forward space, you feel the ground rumble. Until my passive perceptions begin to hear footsteps.
Fucking way, dude.
Can I put up an emboldening bond?
I'll allow the one emboldening bond, but I'm in description, and that's why there's time right now. But you feel this, and as you look into the grove, you do see fires lit. You do see all of these strange plants and stones in miraculous shapes, almost seem humanoid in their shape, naturally so. In a stone center that almost looks to be like a spiraling stone staircase that seems to go down. But in this moment, appearing from the brush, as all the trees bursting forth, you see this gargantuan creature. It has a spined shell down its back, horns jutting out from its head, a maw of 100 sharp teeth. Its whole body is carapace and thick scaled leather with really long arms that scrape the ground with massive claws and a long tail. As you see a horrible monster step forth and sort of look at all of you, and sniff the air, and across the battlefield at all of you. And I'm going to need you all to roll initiative as the monster comes forth.
Yo, is that what I think it is, dude?
Fuck yeah, it is.
You did not, bro.
Oh yeah,
my
I
God.
did. But we're gonna end the session there.
Yo, I've never even seen one of these. Oh my God, this is a D&D moment right here.
Yeah, baby. We'll do it next session.
I'm not telling you. No one will know. I rolled a natural 20 on initiative, dude. First roll.
Okay, we'll mark down your rolls. But we will have this fight next week. And it will be a fight to be remembered, I have no doubt.
Oh, what is that?
So the tea.
Oh,
no, don't even give him that. Don't even give him that.
I think I
Bad
figured
news.
it out from
It's
that.
bad news.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It is the bad
I
news.
was trying to figure out. I was like, it's not the bad, right?
No.
Oh,
No.
I
thought
love
we
the
were on a
messages.
god turtle,
We're
dude.
on a god turtle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no, bro.
Oh. I don't know why I typed it like that, dude. I really, like, when you said, like, the trees